and that's a little so. I mean, again, not surprising because you knew the Cowboys weren't going to overpay for a center that they had questions about. But he's going to Washington now.
This is the third year in a row the Cowboys have gotten rid of a center. Third year in a row.
What?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, has been there a couple of years.
Well, Connor Williams, then Connor McGregor.
Yeah, McGovern. Yeah.
McGregor.
Yeah.
So this is the third center that they've gotten rid of in a relatively short period of time.
If you're watching on YouTube, we're figuring some things out. So apparently, we got to get to the right one.
We made it.
Yes. Are we getting there?
I think so.
Maybe.
Yes, it looks like we are.
Eventually. We will do that. We will get there. We may or may not get there. So many other things going on in the NFL. And again, we're going to be all over it throughout the day today as things happen, as things break. But when you look at Kirk Cousins, probably the number one guy on the board, goes to Atlanta. We saw those tea leaves. And I think Russell Wilson saw those tea leaves too. So ahead of free agency, because he was given permission to, he agreed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then seemingly put out one of the lamer hype videos you could see, although a Steeler fan that works in the building says that that's our song. That's what we play before the fourth quarter. So it was great for Steeler fans, although even then I thought it was kind of a lame hype video to announce you were going to Pittsburgh. Compare that to the hype video that Kyle Brandt has out about Kirk Cousins and the whole Star Wars theme going to Atlanta. That one was great, because that's what it is now, hype videos.
Hype video, yeah.
All of that stuff. Russ going to the Pittsburgh Steelers and the dominoes that are going to have to fall now with Cousins to Atlanta and Russell Wilson to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Does that help the Cowboys get rid of Trey Lance? There was talk of that Minnesota might be interested in a Trey Lance if Kirk Cousins ended up in Atlanta. He has. Justin Fields, there's another guy that's still hanging out there if the Bears are wanting to get rid of him. So there's some quarterbacks out there, but if you're Minnesota, you're thinking, the pickings are slim. Not much, although we kind of talked about this, and I think Minnesota may be on that the lower end of things, trying to rebuild this year than trying to put a team together that can make a run in the playoffs.
If you look at Minnesota, and there's been some links, do they do a trade for Trey Lance? There's some reports suggesting maybe they make a move to try to get Sam Darnold.
Yep.
And then you still have to figure out what is going to happen with Justin Fields, because the two places that look like great fits for Justin Fields, they're off the table, in Atlanta and in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So if you're the Bears, do you make a trade within your division and send Justin Fields to Minnesota? Or what do you do? Where is the value now for a quarterback like Justin Fields?
Well, I think that's been the problem, is the value. And there hasn't been much. And I think that's why the Bears haven't pulled the trigger on anything with Fields just yet. They're not getting what they want for him, and they may not. It may come down to they're going to just have to take what they can get if indeed they're going after Caleb Williams, if that's what they're going to do. You're going to have to get rid of Fields. He's not going to want to stay there and play behind Williams or anybody else for that matter.
Well, and you're going to have the fifth-year option. I mean,
too.
I find it interesting that the New York Giants entertained an exploratory meeting or whatever the hell it was with Russell Wilson. Do they make a move for Justin Fields, knowing that Danny Dimes is not there for long? Saquon is out. You just paid Daniel Jones, but they'll be able to get out of that. But whoever trades for Justin Fields, unless you're doing a short-term rental, you're picking up the fifth-year option and giving him a new deal. It's very interesting when you look at the quarterback market in play. And, we're so quick to judge. And I'm seeing in the comments on our YouTube channel now, free agency, it's just the legal tampering period, which is a stupid name to begin with.
It really is.
It's the conversations agree to terms, and everybody's judging teams now. Oh, what are the Cowboys going to do? Derrick Henry behind our weakened offensive line. Sure, as it sits right now at 2:14 in the afternoon, a little bit weakened of an offensive line, but um
Holy cow.
hold
Well,
on,
there you go, Cowboy
we
fan.
got some breaking news. Uh-oh. The Packers are going to release Aaron Jones, according to sources, says a Tom Pelissero tweet. So they add in a big name running back. So they're going to get rid of one in Aaron Jones. Could Aaron Jones be in play for the Cowboys? My first reaction is no.
Well, of course not. Why would the Cowboys want to get better?
It's not.
Why would they want to get any better?
Yeah, Joe, they want to continue to suck. They're not going to overpay for a running back.
Well, and that's worked out so well for the Cowboys.
He was due $12 million in 2024.
So
right at 29 years old, what does he do? Pledge wants him to Houston.
Sure.
See, every fan base right now, Cowboys, Texans. He's not going to get 12 million. 2 plus 2 does equal 4. So the Packers go get themselves a running back, and they're getting rid of one that's aging, who played extremely well. But I look at that price tag, what he was expecting to make. The Cowboys aren't going to go overspend there. Again, it's not about they don't want to get better. They can find somebody to do that job a hell of a lot cheaper.
They can. That I agree with. They can go out and draft somebody. And I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to find a running back in the draft. I'm okay with that. But look, I mean, Aaron Jones is a Cowboy killer. It'd be kind of nice to have him on the same side. I mean, that guy, every time he sees the Cowboys, he runs like he's Superman. So, but look, I get the Cowboys aren't players. They've got salary cap issues. They still have to deal with a lot of players on their team, and CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott, all of that kind of stuff. But look, I think the NFC East is not going to be as bad this year as it was last year. Green Bay's gotten better. I think that's pretty clear, and they were up and coming anyway. The Atlanta Falcons, I think, are going to be a team you're going to have to deal with if Kirk Cousins comes back and is healthy, and because really they've got a pretty solid team other than quarterback. So the NFC is getting a little bit better as we sit here today.
And because the Cowboys haven't made moves and they've lost some people, you just think they're going to suck. And I get that. I mean, that's what I expected. I tried to talk you guys off the ledge and don't overreact. Like, again, looking at some of the comments on our YouTube channel, subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Yes, the offensive line had got worse today. That doesn't mean the Cowboys aren't going to fill those positions, and maybe with somebody just as good, maybe even better.
Wow.
E. Hughley says lots of O-line guys got released. That is not true, my friend. They haven't released anybody. They've chosen not to sign guys. So Tyron Smith is leaving. He didn't get released. Biotish, a free agent, didn't get released. He is going, in the case of Biotish, he's going to go sign with the Commanders. Now, if you look at guys across the NFL that have been released, you could see where the Cowboys could go shopping. I mean, the fact that Tyron Smith doesn't have a job yet, and I say yet, it's 2:17 by the end of the show, who knows? But you look at over the weekend, a lot of people were talking about Tyron Smith. Like, man, he's going to be such a coveted guy on the market when the tampering period begins. Did the Cowboys make a mistake since so many people are going to be after him? Crickets to this point.
Well, those are people that don't cover the Cowboys the way that we do. And I mean, everybody else, they know.
I was in Dallas over the weekend listening to sports radio in the Uber.
Me. All right, well, and who knows what those guys do?
Yeah,
look, he's injury prone. That's obvious.
Yes.
and he has been. When he's on the field, he's still a good player. But if I'm Tyron Smith, I don't want to go to New England. I mean, that's been a rumor. I don't want to go there because they're rebuilding. And if I'm Smith, I don't want to go to a team that's rebuilding. So if it comes down to that and maybe signing a lesser deal with the Cowboys, he may end up staying with the Dallas Cowboys.
He may. And then, of course, you've got the Kansas City link, which if you're trying to win a Super Bowl, although no team has ever won 3 straight Super Bowls, so history wouldn't be on your side. Although anytime your team can go with Patrick Mahomes, I think you could, double bird history and say, well, let's see what this guy does.
Well, and they stayed good too by keeping Chris Jones over the weekend.
Well,
So
and he might have had one of the greatest tweets of all time.
he did.
Clark Hunt A+.
Uh-huh.
After the rest of the team gave him an F. Is this breaking news? Let's see. Blake Cashman.
Minnesota Vikings. Blake Cashman going to the Minnesota Vikings. 3-year deal, $25.5 million. So there you go. There's movement all over the place.
Yeah, so that guy played for the Texans, now going to Minnesota. The Texans have lost a couple.
They've lost a couple of guys.
There is a notable San Francisco 49er that's not happy that I think will end up in Houston.
Could be.
A guy that D'Amico Ryans has spoke highly of. So I could see that. And again, it's the movement aspect of everything that you would expect. And you can connect dots, kind of circling back with Aaron Jones at 29 and for the money he was scheduled to make. There's no way. And for whatever the case is, as good as he looked, and most Cowboy fans, their last memory of Aaron Jones is that dude running all over the Cowboys in January, right?
Yes.
But as soon as he turns 30, he's going to fall off the cliff. That's what the book says on running backs, which is why the Green Bay Packers made the moves they made today. They added a running back and they got rid of somebody that they love, right? But Aaron Jones, could he become a Cowboy? A little story time. One, he's from Texas. He's an Army brat.
Okay.
But he grew up, high school was in El Paso. Went to UTEP.
Okay.
But we were at a Emmitt Smith Super Bowl party a couple years ago in Los Angeles. And the San Antonio Sports Star group, we were, it was a weird game that they were playing with Herradura Tequila. And you went to all these in this big old party area in Los Angeles. This area, there was this tequila drink, and basically you went around the room and there was, I don't know, 5-6 drinks. I forget what it was. And then once you've completed that, then you get to the private stash of one Emmitt Smith. And then you have a drink with Emmitt. That was kind of the gist of the party. Well, as the sports star guy had made our way around the tequila world at this party, we're about to get to go have our drink with Emmitt. And Aaron Jones jumped the line. And Aaron Jones acted like a 3-year-old at the mall that met Santa Claus for the first time.
Yeah, I guarantee he was worshiping at the altar of Emmitt Smith. I mean, he was. This guy was just starstruck, for lack of a better word.
And he kept saying that. Man, I can't believe I'm.
Yeah.
I mean, it was legit, and it was cool for us. And we even talked about it with Emmitt afterwards.
Yeah.
And to a degree, Aaron was kind of still there. Like, man, it's just cool to see pros at this level when they meet their heroes,
legends.
Too.
Yeah.
No, so maybe is he just a fan of position? Jones, a guy that grew up in El Paso, went to high school in El Paso, went to UTEP. Was he a Cowboy fan? But it's business. So there is no such thing truly as a hometown discount.
He'll end up somewhere. It's just a matter of where and for how much. And obviously the Packers did this. The Packers did this to get rid of the $12 million.
Yep.
Plus they got a pretty damn good running back in the meantime. So Aaron Jones will end up with somebody. Diana Rossini's already posting on Twitter that he's got suitors, and it could happen quickly. So who those suitors are, we don't know just yet, but things are breaking. And I have a feeling over the next 3.5 hours here while we're on the show, we're going to have a lot more breaking news as this thing continues.
So much.
Yeah.
None of us can hit refresh on Twitter fast enough. There's no reason for you guys to go anywhere because we will keep you posted and react with you throughout the day as the legal tampering period
so stupid
has kicked off. And you look at all of this. It is going to be wild. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 on Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210. You can tweet at me at Jason Minix. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel, and we can also you can comment there as well as we go throughout, because there are so many things that even happened before the legal tampering period that we'll get into throughout the day. Baker Mayfield got paid.
He did.
He's staying in Tampa
Yeah.
with Mike Evans.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Jones, of all people, gets traded to be the backup in Jacksonville.
For a 6th-round pick. Now, they pretty much gave him away.
They did.
They gave him away.
They did.
So they're going to draft a quarterback. They've got the 3rd pick in the draft. Plus, they still have Bailey Zappi, who I guess will compete with whoever the rookie quarterback. I think it's Drake May is the guy I've seen the most in mock drafts that they want.
Well, and at number 3, it'll be interesting to see what happens. T. Higgins has requested a trade. The Cowboys have told Michael Gallup, you can go find a trade. And Jerry Jeudy was traded from the Broncos to the Cleveland Browns. The Browns continue to load up with some incredible talent there because, man, they got to do anything and everything they can to try to make that Deshaun Watson news pay off. And linebacker Patrick Queen, he's going to the Seattle Seahawks. So remember the Ravens defense coordinator, Mike McDonald? Yeah, he's now in Seattle. The first Raven to stay a Bird, but switch to the Seahawks.
Staying with his defensive coordinator, that's for sure. And you see the same thing with Dan Quinn, stealing a couple of Cowboys so far. And will there be anybody else? That remains to be seen.
Do you find I don't find it odd that Dorrance Armstrong went to Washington with Dan Quinn? I do find a little odd that Tyler Biotish.
Why is that?
I expected more defensive guys that were free agents to go as opposed to an offensive guy, a center. Clearly, I mean, obviously some knowledge there, but Tyler Biotish, I mean, good for Tyler Biotish. And I think a lot of Cowboy fans should be saying, all right, that was smart on the part of the Cowboys not to overpay at that position for that particular player.
Well, obviously they don't because they've lost 3 within a matter of what, 5-6 years?
Well, the other 2 were hybrid guys that could play guard and center.
Sure. But they were centers most of the time.
They, and Biotish, since he took the job, he's been okay, but man, the Zach Martin playing next to him has made that guy a lot of money.
Well,
and he might be exposed a little bit now in Washington, and I'm all for it.
Zach Martin. Well, I don't know. Was it McGovern went to Miami and played pretty well? So who knows? But we do know that the Cowboys have some holes to fill, even more so than they did when we left here Friday afternoon. Are you going with Brock Hoffman? Brock?
Maybe. I don't know what the guy. I mean, look, the Cowboys tried telling us, man, this Terrence Steele guy, he's turning out pretty good. And it turned out, they were right after a disastrous rookie year. They've been singing the praises of Matt Walesko since he was drafted. If that guy could get healthy, maybe he could end up being pretty good. So offensive line development is there. You talk about holes to fill more so today than on Friday. These aren't unexpected holes to fill. I think, I guess it's just different when you see them officially sign with another team.
Well, Biotish, we talked about that. We thought maybe the Cowboys would want to keep him because
I think they would have at the right price. Their price.
I know, but at some point in time, and look, the Cowboys are handcuffed. They really are with the salary cap right now. So that makes a big difference. And I'm sure they offered Biotish something. I would assume, or talked about something anyway.
I think you saw the market, or if they saw the market, whether they offered him or not. I mean, there have been reports for weeks the market might be more than what the Cowboys are willing to pay. And when you look at earmarking money, futures money for, say, a Tyler Smith, you're going to take care of CeeDee, you're going to take care of Mikey, you got to pay the quarterback. There's only so much, as they're budgeting in their room for position. This is our payment for this guy right here, or this position group right here. Can they go find somebody that is almost as good, just as good, but a hell of a lot cheaper? And that's how the Cowboys are going to be constructed. A lot of these teams, their roster construction is that way. How much money are they willing to spend per position group? And you figure out how to make it work.
Well, they're going to have to figure it out. See how it works.
Here's the thing. And when and again, I know the comeback is going to be, they haven't done anything in 30 years. In other words, win a Super Bowl. So maybe the process doesn't work.
Well, they haven't done anything in the last 30 years. I don't think they've even advanced very far in the playoffs.
No, but they've won a lot of regular season games, Joe.
Well, I know, and that's what Cowboy fans love. Bam.
No, we don't. Here's the thing, though. And when I look at Tyler leaving, and I'm not upset about it, the Dallas Cowboys, their ideal business model, draft, develop, pay.
Okay.
They like to pay their own guys that they've drafted and developed. It is a sign that's not necessarily good for the player when they let you walk after your rookie deal is over. When not again, I don't know what attempt they had to keep him. Maybe Tyler just played so well. His market is more than what the Cowboys are willing to do, but it doesn't seem like there was much of a fight to keep that guy there. Draft, develop, pay. Last year with Pollard, it was the franchise tag and his market more than what we're willing to pay that guy. They have, through history of Jerry Jones owning this team and then working within the salary cap, seemingly have overpaid for a lot of guys that they drafted and developed because that's relationship and loyalty. So that tells me a little bit about Tyler Biadasz and where they think he really is, that it doesn't even seem like there was an offer or a legit competitive offer to keep him.
You got to find a center now, and you got to hope that somebody is at least as good. Look, Tyler Biadasz is not a Hall of Famer. Okay,
No.
certainly he's not.
No, he's serviceable.
But he's serviceable. And if you're Dak Prescott, I mean, don't you want some consistency there at center? I mean, after all, you're sticking your hands underneath that dude's behind, a lot of times every game. And so you might want to make sure that, you like the fit and the feel.
Well, it can't be too sweaty. We've heard that enough.
You just never know with these big dudes on the line.
I mean, yeah, that's what powder's for.
Uh-huh. Got some holes to fill, Jason.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. A big one right there in the center.
Good news is they got a lot of time to still put this thing together.
All right.
Don't judge the Cowboys today.
The NFC got better today.
Yes.
Overall.
Yes.
It did.
Yes.
So, Cowboys, it's your shot.
There you go. There you go. Spurs playing the Warriors tonight. We'll dive into that. Plus their big win over Golden State on Saturday night. The latest on NFL free agency is the legal tampering period has begun. Lots of energy in the NFL today. Now, you guys, if you're dealing with a lack of energy, motivation, maybe even low libido, these symptoms could be caused by low T levels. At Synergenics, their medical providers exclusively specialize in customized testosterone treatment, and they make it quick and easy to go get your levels checked. And at Synergenics, you will get your results back at your first visit. So book an appointment now. FixMyLowT.com is the website to go and do that. FixMyLowT.com. Did you know your testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s? If you're feeling a lack of energy and drive, get your levels tested at Synergenics. You will get customized care from testosterone specialists. The big thing is, the most important, get tested. Take that first step. Book your appointment now. Go to the website, FixMyLowT.com. That's FixMyLowT.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, the Spurs got Golden State. Now the Rockets, how'd they do? We'll look back and look forward on what is the most important stretch of the Spurs season.
Plus, we are squarely in the middle of the legal tampering period across the NFL. What are the biggest things we've seen across the league, and what are the Cowboys and Texans doing? We'll get into it starting at 6 a.m.
Hey, poker players, the Big Blind is open. With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. Whether you are seeking high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road, just down from the Roo Pub, offers daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road.
Do you ever feel hot spots or cold drafts around your home while watching your favorite team play? Your windows may be to blame. Call Maverick Windows today at 800-972-3631 and sign up for a free quote and get back in the end zone. That's 800-972-3631.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
The ultimate March Hoops experience is in downtown Las Vegas. Don't miss out on Mega March at Stadium Swim at Circa Resort and Casino. There's no better place to take in the action than in the 6 pools at Circa with their 143-foot screen. Experience the game's poolside with various seating options. No matter the size of your group, Stadium Swim is the place to be. Find all the Stadium Swim options at circalasvegas.com and join Jason and Joe from the Blitz for Mega March at Circa Resort and Casino. Book now at circalasvegas.com.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com. Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
It's time, basketball bettors. It's March Mania. I'm Rob Thompson here to tell you about BetUS.com. Over the years, I've endorsed only one sportsbook and casino, and that's been BetUS.com for years. They've been driving to the basket for 30 years, and I've been a part of it. And this year, BetUS has got an epic three-pointer going for you. 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, plus 10% gambling insurance. It's epic. Get started by visiting BetUS.com or give them a call at 1-800-MY-BET-US. BetUS is where the game begins.
Nigel, what's up with your hair?
Joel, prices are insane these days. I'm cutting my own hair.
Folks, nobody likes paying high prices. Good news, for a limited time, all quarter moon 14-seer AC systems up to 3 tons are installed in your house for only $69.99. Now is the ideal time to take care of your home at the lowest price of the year.
Joel, I like saving money. I'm an influencer. Everywhere I go, people hand me change and say, bless your heart.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899. License number M16004. DACLA 000743458.
Howdy, San Antonio. This is Andy Monaco, and you're locked on the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
March in basketball, so much good to hear. Tournament plays about to get underway for conference tournaments. Then we've got March Madness. Tell you what, last night, best thing I saw today on Scott Van Pelt, and that was a little odd because, he starts and I see the UTSA Roadrunner on the floor, and I'm like, what happened? Temple on a buzzer beater beat UTSA.
Yeah.
So the Roadrunners make Scott Van Pelt National Sports Center, but not for the right reasons.
Bad news, though, yeah.
Although I guess everybody gets in the tournament. They are the 14th seed. Henson's Roadrunners are.
Hey, you just got to get in the tournament.
Well, they're in the conference tournament. They're the 14th seed. They get Temple again. And I think Wednesday afternoon. I mean, they get the Wednesday you kind of are invited, but not really treatment at the American.
Isn't Temple
tournament.
the team that it was involved in the betting thing? I think it was Temple, wasn't it? Yeah, Temple and UCF, I think, were part of that whole where the line moved.
The line changed. Maybe
yeah.
Temple.
So
yeah, the Owls.
We'll have to figure that out. Maybe we can get in on some of that.
You know a guy?
I don't know anybody from Temple, but
yeah, you do.
Didn't Bill Cosby go there?
Well, it's Philadelphia, but yeah, you know other people that have been to Temple, right? It's a big time university.
Well,
in Philadelphia.
Sure, yeah. I don't know them personally.
Oh.
We'll put it that way.
Well, I know a guy on the radio side.
You do?
Well, he helps engineer us every time we're up there for the Army-Navy game.
Okay.
Well, he's one
All
of the
right,
many engineers that we know.
Maybe he'll know.
Man, if you need an inside guy.
I do.
I have
It
nobody.
can't hurt.
I mean, if they're playing UTSA basketball, I think if you bet Temple, you're pretty safe.
Well, they just UTSA just lost in a buzzer beater.
Took them down to the wire.
So I don't know.
So as it looks right now, I would think that Steve Henson has one more game to coach for UTSA.
So if they lose, he's out. Most likely. He's such a nice guy.
He really is.
He really is.
And, and I say it that way. And I didn't expect this to turn into a UTSA basketball segment. But if I'm Lisa Campos and you look at the results of men's basketball, and as bad as they've been under Steve Henson, just from that alone, you would say, yeah, we've got to move on from him. Then I also look at who are they going to get that's better for the money? Because, I mean, they're going to get a new practice gym in the next couple of years, but the combo is still the combo.
It is.
And anytime you're talking about replacing a coach, you better be able to replace the coach with somebody better. And I just don't know if this program is as well equipped or as well set up for the jump in conferences like they were able to transition in football and other sports. I just think men's basketball was in a position where it was like, they were really okay where they were, but moving up, not at all the same. Although
they weren't all that good where they were. Either,
but I look at what Karen Alston has done with the women's program and thought, well, that does not bode well for Steve Henson either. So I don't know. My guess is he won't be the coach long, unless they get extremely hot this next week and go on an incredible run, which if I were a betting man, I'd bet Temple on Wednesday afternoon.
It's always possible, Minix. You got to have hope.
Well, sure.
Hope.
Sure. Are you going to take UTSA?
Little run. I haven't seen the line. Maybe. I'll go talk to some folks over there and say, hey, what are you hearing?
Is that what you're going to do?
No.
I'll tell you, a team that's been tough to decide on how you're going to bet is our San Antonio Spurs.
Uh-huh.
Now, they've done a good job of covering a lot of games, minus the Houston one, since the All-Star break. Since the All-Star break, they've also become one hell of a three-point shooting team, which is baffling. But they've been competitive. They're winning games you don't expect them to win, and hanging in there with for a while on some others. So, it is kind of interesting when you look at what's going on right now with the San Antonio Spurs, with Golden State in tonight, a team that they beat handily the other night without Wemby, without Devin, no Curry in that game.
They've won 2 in a row, have they not? Without Wemby.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have.
So, hold on. They could have They could have a 3-game win streak.
They could. And
every time we've talked about them getting to a 3-game win streak, which they have, it's always been snapped at 2.
Okay, it's going to be interesting. And I'm just throwing this out there.
Mm-hmm.
The Spurs should stumble tonight with Wemby coming back. What does that tell you?
Hey, dude, you can't stir that pot.
I'm just asking.
You don't even try to stir that pot.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Take
it as you will.
Are you trying to say that they're better without Wemby?
Is
that what you're trying to say? You really want to stir that pot?
I am trying to say that as constructed, they might be.
You sound like the national guys thinking that Wemby's going to force his way out next year as if that was contractually possible.
He can't do that.
I know.
Those guys.
And they're not better without him.
Well, I think they've got to have some players that fit better with him.
All right.
Put it that way.
So what does it say that they won the other night without Wemby and without Devin Vassell? Because even Pop is impressed with what the Spurs did Saturday night at Golden State.
They're a heck of a good group. They don't give in. We make our share of mistakes, that's for sure, as a young team, but they're learning. They're getting more consistent in a lot of different areas. I'm just happy for them.
I'm
Did
happy
Pop get
for
out of the
too.
way of the forklift that was backing up there?
I hope so. again, it's really difficult for me to even you want to watch them play. I'm happy they're having some success. It means absolutely nothing in the scheme of things. No Steph Curry. That made a hell of a difference. He's not playing again tonight, I don't believe. So
and for the record, this would only be a 2-game win streak because they lost to Houston and Sacramento. That should have been a win at Sacramento, but they lost that game. Then they beat the Warriors, and they got the Warriors again tonight. So it would not be a 3-game win streak.
Okay.
Although if they win tonight, then you get revenge on Houston, who likely don't get Sengun back after he got wheelchaired out of the game the other night.
Well, that'll be good for Wemby.
Well, I mean, I thought Wemby's revenge was coming against the Rockets, but apparently that won't happen.
Again, it's like can we just get to the off season? I just want to get there. Just get to the off season. Fast forward, go to the off season. Let's see what happens, and then we'll get excited about them heading into next year.
So you look at tonight's game, 7:00 start down at the Frostbank Center. No Curry. Wemby's not even on the injury report. Pop did say the other night the Wemby injury not all that serious.
Well, I don't think it's not an injury. I mean, it's not like I think that Jetty's is worse probably. So we'll just see how things go.
See how things go. Apparently they're going to go okay because he's expected to hit the floor tonight. Devin Vassell most likely will as well. He's probable for tonight's game, but I would assume he plays. Although it's a back-to-back situation for the Spurs. Do you hold one or the other of those guys out tonight and the other one out tomorrow night? That's a possibility. So maybe Vassell sits tonight. Wemby tomorrow.
It's so interesting when you listen to Greg Popovich. Because he said the other night when asked about getting to a certain total and shutting guys down like he did last year. And he was like, well, we didn't shut people down last year. What are you talking about? They were injured, right? Well, they were tanking to get Wemby, like he's still playing, like we all know what, we didn't shut people down. They were hurt. What is the goal here? The team goal, the organization goal? Because are you trying to win games, which should be your goal, but right now wins hurt the Spurs from a drafting standpoint. And at some point you have to make the decision and commitment as a team, as an organization. Yeah, we want to play well. Yes, we want to improve. Yes, we want to do these things, but you still need to get as many lottery balls as possible. So we can win games, but you've got to stay in the bottom 3 of suckage, right? And so you talk about Devin Vassell. Does he miss a game? Well, I think if they were in a playoff push, there's no question that he plays tonight. But in a push for the bottom, yeah, we might need to hold this cat out.
The Spurs have a 4-game lead over Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
They have a 3-game lead over Washington.
Mm-hmm.
The next team in they're 4 games behind Portland. So I don't see an issue here. They're only
Charlotte.
Only 2 games behind Charlotte.
See, that's it. I mean, you only got 2 games to play with those Hornets who, they're not trying to win games either, although they did win their last time out.
I cannot imagine a scenario. Now, I couldn't imagine it last year either, but it happened where the Spurs are going to start tanking. Although you could say they've been tanking the entire year because they're worse this year than they were last.
But and again, I don't think the idea this year was tanking. But at some point, you have to shift gears and adjust your goals as an organization and what is in the best interest of the organization moving forward. Not what's in the best interest of this group. And it sucks for those guys. And I've always been a proponent. Players don't take, organizations do. So, all right, Devin, you're a little bit hurt. Yeah, sit this one out. Because it is important. And I don't want to tank any more than you do. But I also want to be realistic and honest. What is the best thing for this organization? The highest possible draft pick that you can get. and winning games right now could affect that in a negative way.
I really am not going to lose sleep over that or even worry about it if they happen to finish fourth worst team in the league and a couple of balls don't show up.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't matter. The draft is not that deep this year. So there's no Wemby out there. There's no Tim Duncan out there. So it doesn't. They're going to get a good player no matter what.
So it might not even be a draftable player, but what if it's something that's involved in a trade package where see, that's I mean, that pick doesn't have to be a player that's a rookie next year. You might use that in the draft.
It better be a hell of a player.
It's a commodity. Well, I'm not giving that up for a bag of chips. I mean, so yes, by definition, it's a high draft pick. It's going to be a hell of a player that's involved in that. So what is in the best interest of the organization? Now, you go back to last year, and I've always thought this. I think if you're in the lottery with a top 5 pick, you should be only allowed to do that once every 3 years or 5 years, whatever rule they put on. But until there's a rule like that, if you're going to play by the current set of rules that the NBA has for drafting, it's in the Spurs' best interest not to win games right now. And that sucks. But I would love to see them put a rule in where you can't be a top pick. You can't have the number 1 pick overall back-to-back. Well, now, this year, the Spurs could end up with that, which, all right. And by my, fake rule suggestions, they wouldn't be in line for the first pick a year from now, which is supposed to be a loaded draft.
Their 2 best players sat out the last game, and they won.
Well, and Steph Curry didn't play.
Okay, well, he's not playing tonight either. So you're going to sit both Wemby and Vassell again and let everybody else beat you? I mean, they're not tanking. They're going to go out and they're going to play. And nobody's tanking.
You talk about nobody's tanking my ass. You're so blind sometimes. I mean, Golden State is a 500 basketball team, right?
Without their best player.
Well, they're a 500 basketball team with their best player, right? They're the 10th seed right now.
Okay.
Whatever's going on, but Golden State has the ability. And it's kind of weird when you look at the standings. I look at Dallas, LA, and Golden State down at the bottom of the playoff play-in thing. And I think all 3 of those teams are capable of making a run and playing really good basketball when it matters most. They've got that championship pedigree. But it's a weird year for Golden State. Almost as weird as that guy in the stands that Sean Elliott got fixated on the other night that looked exactly like Steve Kerr, right? I don't know if you saw those highlights, but there's a guy in Oakland or San Francisco that looks just like Steve Kerr. Mannerisms, everything. It was weird.
It wasn't Steve Kerr?
No.
Oh.
No, he was in the stands and Steve's on the bench. I mean, this guy is more Steve Kerr than fake Andy Reid walking around Super Bowl City looks like Andy Reid. If you haven't seen that, somebody tweet Joe pictures of that guy. He apparently missed it. So when you look at it, it's a strange year for Golden State, but to your point, the other night, the Spurs win, and you say they're not trying to tank. They're not trying to win either, but they're going to trip into wins along the way. And they are playing good basketball right now. And you know why? Because they're shooting the ball well. They are shooting the 3 well.
That's about time. And shooters shoot. They make them sometimes they don't. Like it's hard for me to. I don't really care what they do. I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, we got to lose now to get the number." They're going to get a good pick. Either way, doesn't matter if it's number 1 or number 5. It's just I have no feeling either way. Let's just get the season over with. It sucks. Maybe they'll trip into winning 23 games this year and make it all better.
23. They got 14 right now.
I know.
You think they could get to 23?
They're playing well. It doesn't matter. See, either way, I take a lot of pride in being the only one here that had some sort of didn't have Spurs glasses on when it came to Wemby and make the playoffs this year and that yada yada yada. Well, 30. What'd you say? 39 games.
Over 38.5.
38.5?
No.
It gets them in the play-in tournament.
I mean, it would.
Easily.
It would, and that's about. And to your point, same team as last year that I thought was tanking, you probably had another 10 wins in them. You add in a player like Wemby, they should be around 40 wins. They should be.
And they will be.
This has been a disaster.
Wemby had to get used to the NBA. Okay, he wasn't coming in here being Mr. MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, every award that's out there that everybody thinks he ought to win.
Yep.
This year, it takes some getting used to.
Apparently.
He is getting used to it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing the results of that right now.
But you go ahead and pat yourself on the back, Mr.
Baby.
Under 20 wins.
Well, no, I didn't say under 20. What was the over and under? 28.5?
Something like that. You just took the under.
I took the under.
So 14.
So they can get to 23. That'd be great.
They're not getting to 23.
Just saying.
They are not getting it.
Playing good ball without Wemby.
Joe Reinagle says the Spurs are better without Wemby.
Playing some great basketball.
Better without Wemby.
Without Wemby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness.
Good Lord. Coming up here on the Blitz, we'll catch you up on the latest free agency news. The Houston Texans have signed another player. We'll give you the details on that. And a coach that announces her firing at her post-game press conference in a very bizarre way. We'll talk about that coming up on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First, I've got a message for you, and it's going to change your dental game in about 60 seconds. Ask you a question. Are you fed up with the same dental routine? You know what I'm talking about. Those endless trips to the dentist, dealing with missing teeth, temporary fixes that just never seem to stick. Well, I've got the answer for you. It is Doctor's Implants. At Doctor's Implants, they're board-certified oral and facial surgeons. They're ready to transform your smile. You can say goodbye to the frustration of traditional dentistry and welcome a brighter future. Look, don't let old-school dentistry hold you back any longer. Embrace your future with full-mouth dental implants at Doctor's Implants. You can check them out online at doctorsimplants.com, but here's the kicker. When you call them at 210-640-0000, tell them I sent you, Joe Reinagle from the Blitz. You're going to get a complimentary consultation and CT scan. Your journey to that perfect smile begins at Doctor's Implants, so don't wait. Call them now, 210-640-0000.
Riding I-10 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic is set. Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas. With plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Presented by Sierra Auto Group. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. Then, after your round, join the San Antonio Sports Star gang. The live at 90 Proof Bar and Grill on the corner of Highway 90 and Lucky Ranch, 10 minutes from Golf Club of Texas. It's San Antonio's Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation. Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
If you've been thinking about buying a new car or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, think Ancira.com. Browse through thousands of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and RVs. Shop for your next new Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Ford, Buick, or GMC. Or if you're looking for an import, we have a huge selection of Kias, VWs, and Nissans. Or for your home away from home, a full line of RVs and campers. And you'll always get the lowest Ancira price, in-store or online at Ancira.com.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. That's 800-230-5174.
Before you fire up that grill, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market. Hi, Jason Minix here. Tri-County Meat Market has everything you need. If you're thinking steaks, you want some chicken, some poppers, beef ribs, pork ribs, brisket, picanha, tri-tip. They've got it all at Tri-County Meat Market. Take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25, and Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner, or online at tricountymeat.com.
Dave Ramsey here from my friends over at Connecticut in San Antonio. Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy. So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it. It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association. The team at Connecticut San Antonio can test your water, install a system, and provide treatment all without stepping a foot inside your home.
I'm Chris Canepa of Connecticut and San Antonio in the Hill Country. I'll let you try a Connecticut quality water softener for 90 days absolutely free. Call us at 656-PURE, that's 656-7873, or visit us on ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Your home for the Dallas Cowboys is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
NFL free agency legal tampering period underway. A lot of moves today. Tony Pollard, the Cowboys running back, he's headed to Tennessee. Tyler Biadasz and Dorrance Armstrong, they're going to Washington. Texans losing defensive end Jonathan Grenard. He's headed to Minnesota. Giants running back Saquon Barkley, he's agreed to terms with the Philadelphia Eagles. And Kirk Cousins leaving the Vikings and headed to the Falcons.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Monday.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Busy Monday in the NFL.
You know, the legal tampering period is always such an interesting time. And I saw Ross Tucker had a tweet and a little article, and it's so true. So many of these big free agents don't work out, and you wonder why. It's a job interview where there's no interview. You might actually sign a massive deal to a guy that you've never talked to. You're dealing with the agent. You have an idea, you hope, because unlike a guy in the draft, you're going on projection. Free agent, you're going on past performance.
You got a resume.
And you talk to friends in the league to figure out, will he be a good fit?
Yeah.
But it's weird that you sign a massive deal, sometimes within seconds, minutes without a whole lot of thought and research. You might have targeted some guys on a list, but your typical due diligence you don't do during the free agency period because it's a matter of getting a deal done and a deal done quickly.
Sure, all of those things are true. But if you're looking at a guy like a Saquon Barkley, for example, you pretty much know what you're going to get. You've seen his production. You've seen what he can do. A Tony Pollard, the Tennessee Titans, you have an idea how you're going to use the guy because you know what his strengths are, you know what his weaknesses are. Same with anybody else that you want to talk about. So you've got a resume to at least look at. You've got film to watch when it comes to free agents and signing people. And it's and again, I know it's not the Cowboys MO, but I mean, just about every other team in the league is active today. And the Cowboys are not.
They're not. And the Texans active. Now, they've lost a dude.
Grenard,
4 years, $76 million as he goes to the Vikings. But they do they sign corner Jeff Okudah, a 1 year, $4.75 million deal, 2.5 guaranteed, 1.5 bonus, according to Aaron Wilson. That was the third round pick in 2020. The Texans, according to Aaron Wilson, also signing veteran defensive end Danico Autry. There is one former 49er that I expect to hear linked to the Texans soon. And when that happens, you might hear screaming from the other side of the glass from one James Pledger.
Well, it could be, but he wants a big contract.
Yes.
And that's why the San Francisco 49ers are not expected to keep him. By the way, can we talk family? Dak Prescott with a nice tweet just now.
Okay.
So if it wasn't clear already, it is now. The Eagles have the best front office in the NFL. Hashtag, how about them Cowboys?
That's what Tad just posted?
That's what he posted, yeah.
I mean, look at what the Eagles have done. Hell, I might argue Tampa Bay and what they've done with their front office over the last couple of years with the Tom Brady deal and then the turnaround and, get Baker and keep Mike Evans with what they've been able to do. And so I look at Tad frustrated. Now, keep in mind, Derrick Henry's agent is Todd France. That's also Dak Prescott's agent.
Yes.
So my guess is at some point they're going to talk.
If they haven't already.
And they want to get a deal done. Now, Tad frustrated, and Dak has been very clear. My family doesn't speak for me, although sometimes I wonder. But we've said for years, the Eagles have a great front office, right? They've made some great moves. Now, their current head coach probably won't be long for that job. But, I mean, solid, well-run organization, ownership on down. And, I hate to credit the Eagles, but I'm honest. I mean, they do. And you look at what they are doing, it makes sense. They still have to replace a Jason Kelce. Their best play might not work next year in the tush push.
It might not.
I mean, nobody else was able to really run it to the success the Eagles have, and I think Kelce was a big reason why.
Huge reason why, yes.
But you look at, when we talk about Dak Prescott, and here's a tweet from Warren Sharp. And while Dak is about to get paid all that money, and I saw a report earlier today, Kirk Cousins, Minnesota was in, but they didn't want to give the guarantees that Kirk was asking for. Like, dude,
sure.
You've been here 6 years, and we've invested $1 gazillion already, and we don't have a Super Bowl. We want to keep you, but at what point do we say enough is enough with the guaranteed money? And now he's going to get 100 guaranteed from Atlanta. Kirk Cousins, since he came into the NFL in 2012, has $329 million of fully guaranteed contract coming his way. His total is $411 million through 2027. And again, $329 million of that is guaranteed.
Well, Cousins started this whole guaranteed money thing, right?
But Kirk Cousins has one playoff win in 12 years as a quarterback in the National Football League. And you going to bitch about Dak Prescott and his contract and lack of results in the postseason?
Yes, I do. I sure do. Look at this. Devin Singletary headed to the Giants from the Texans.
Okay.
So what does that tell you? They freed up somebody. Is Derrick Henry
It's
headed
possible
to Houston?
It's possible. You know, I mean, and you got to follow the dominoes that are following. I mean, although in reality, Singletary staying in Houston, I know a lot of Texans fans wanted him to, kind of like Tony Pollard, but at what price? And him going to the Giants went, oh, we lost Saquon. What can we do? Now, do you look at Singletary as a solid replacement for Saquon Barkley?
Well, no, I mean, certainly not. But Singletary had a pretty good season for the Texans this past year. So he can develop into something. The guy's still young. You can't replace a Saquon Barkley, but which is why, even with his injury history, you look at a Saquon Barkley, and I would say he may be the closest thing to a Christian McCaffrey. I mean, Barkley is a good pass catcher out of the backfield. He can run the football as well. He can do a lot of different things. And I think if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm a big fan of DeAndre Swift, and I thought he played really well. However, you got an opportunity to get somebody like a Saquon Barkley with that kind of just that kind of style. I mean, you do it. And the Eagles went out and got it done.
And another gut punch for the Texans. They lose punter Cam Johnston to the Steelers. And I think Mike Tomlin said, "Oh, wait, we added Russ. Get us a good punter."
Yeah.
I mean, look, any drive that ends in a kick is a good drive.
Sure is.
Those are two big losses for Houston. This has been a rough 3 o'clock hour for
punter.
Dude, he was one of their better weapons.
Okay, so what?
Literally one of their better weapons.
You can find a punter.
Yeah, well,
we're going to get all upset about losing a punter. Are you serious? But get Indy Kalu on the phone. Will you please? Let's ask him.
He doesn't like kickers.
Oh,
Punters,
my gosh.
they're a good thing.
Jeez.
No,
we're going to get all upset. Oh, it's a gut punch. Please. He's a punter.
Mm-hmm.
They're a dime a dozen.
You crack me up sometimes. Mm-hmm. Can you hear Pledge hackling on the other side?
I can't.
Good Lord.
Did they sign Armstead? Is that what happened?
No. He's trying to entertain himself watching the exodus from the Houston Texans.
Basically.
Yeah.
Pledge is, an emotional roller coaster over there with signings. It's the beauty of the NFL. It really is. We'll keep you updated as things continue to happen across the National Football League on this first day of legal tampering period. But right now, let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Interesting weekend in college basketball, especially women's college basketball. That SEC championship game, South Carolina and LSU.
That was too bad.
There's so much bizarreness towards the end of that.
Yeah.
South Carolina gets the win. There was that brawl at the end. Yeah, brother jumping onto the court, which, I mean, what do you think? I mean, all of it was crazy. And even the post game was crazy with how the two different coaches reacted to the same situation. Let's hear from the LSU coach, Kim Mulkey, first.
No one wants to see that ugliness, but I can tell you this. I wish she would have pushed Angel Reese. Don't push a kid. You 6'8". Don't push somebody that little. That was uncalled for, in my opinion. Let those two girls that were jawing, let them go at it.
What? Wait a minute. What?
Kim, that was awful.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, like the sincereness of the apology from Kim Mulkey, who's brash to begin with. Yeah, nobody likes that, but man, you won't pick. I mean,
that was just dumb.
Don Staley handled everything with class.
I just want to apologize to the basketball community. When you're playing in championship games like this in our league, things get heated. No bad intentions. Their emotions got so far ahead of them that sometimes these things happen. So I want to apologize for us playing a part in that, because that's not who we are and that's not what we're about. But I'm happy for the players that were able to finish the game and get us another championship.
And that's all that matters. And that was a great way to respond to that. Kim Mulkey's gotten very Greg Popovich-like as she moves on and is successful when it comes to interviews and in-game interviews and all of that stuff. So it was just ugly, and it was a bad look for college basketball.
It was all around, and then Kim Mulkey's comments after, just they're cringeworthy.
They are.
Now she's brash. Now, part of me, even when she was at Baylor, she's been that way for a long time. You just never know what you're going to get. And I don't know who picks out her pregame outfits, or if she spends a lot of time doing that. That's where she is not like Greg Popovich.
No, not at all.
But brashness around the microphone is certainly there. But that was embarrassing, her comments afterwards. Almost as embarrassing as what we saw from Utah State. Now, I've seen a lot of bizarre things in my sportscasting career. I've never quite seen anything quite like this. Now, we know that there are mandatory rules about media obligations following a game. They generally happen within 10 minutes of the game being over. Locker rooms open, coaches come to press conferences, that sort of thing. And those are rules that are in place. Coaches have to meet with the media. So imagine now, this was Mountain West Conference, and so at a tournament, every conference is a little bit different. Winning coach might go pretty quick, and then the losing coach, maybe it's 15 or 20 minutes. I don't know what they're doing at the Mountain West Conference, but at the Mountain West Conference tournament, the women's coach for Utah State, her name is Kayla Ard. They lost, apparently, and she fulfills the media obligation by going in and does the press conference. Apparently answered several questions about the game itself. And then she was asked about rebuilding for next year.
How do you plan to rebuild for next season?
I'm not going to be rebuilding. I just coached my last game at Utah State. I spoke with Diana, and they're going in a different direction, and I respect her decision, and I hope they get a really good coach in. I'm assuming that's going to be the last question.
All right. And then she got up and left.
Well, why she showed up is beyond me. Somebody fires me, I don't just screw your rules. I'm not going to the press conference. I mean, are you kidding me? I don't give a rat's behind.
I mean,
it's like birds up, baby. You're going in a different direction. So am I.
I think Kayla Ard, for your next job, you just got to one up on all your competitors for that job. Now, I don't know how good of a coach she's been. Obviously, she got fired from Utah State. On the way to the locker room, hey, make sure you pack your stuff completely. Here's a Southwest flight. That is so bizarre to get fired that quickly. Unless there was a meeting prior to, like when Lisa Campos was on with us a couple weeks ago when we asked about the future of Steve Henson. She said she's constantly evaluating, but the final evaluation comes after the season. Now, did they have a meeting beforehand and hey, if you don't do well, you're going to be out, just so you know?
I think coaches know that, right? I mean, I don't think it's in big time. Say big time. I mean, in college sports, pro sports, if the results aren't there, they're not going to keep you forever. They're just not. And so for anybody that thinks that they can just go on and be mediocre for year after year after year, you're going to get fired eventually, and they're going to try somebody else. Now, I don't know how this happened, but I promise you, if they had a talk before this press conference and she still showed up, props to her.
But think about it. I mean, game's over. Team goes to the locker room. You talk to your team. Words of wisdom, consolation, whatever it might be. And then the AD, hey, we're going in another direction.
Yeah.
Now go to your press conference.
No, there's been Birds up.
And what a way to announce it, because she had answered questions about the game.
She wasn't going to answer the question. It was a guy talking about the future.
Well, yeah. But it got to that part of the press conference. Well, guess I should let you know before the press release goes out, I'm fired. I'm assuming that's the last question.
Not going to be
I'm
rebuilding anything.
And for her emotionally I mean, clearly she saw it coming.
Of course.
But for them not to even get back to campus, you do it on the team plane on the flight
on
home.
The bus?
Well, yeah, so many questions. I mean, if you're a coach right now, and man, I hate to do it to the guy, but if you're Steve Henson and you're playing on Wednesday afternoon and you lose that game and you see Lisa Campos in the tunnel, do you go a different route?
I think so. I'm headed back to the locker room.
Take a different route to the locker room. Do you see what I mean? I mean,
yes.
The precedent. We're not even going to wait till you get back to practice.
Well, I mean, why?
I mean, if she's fired there, and they go to the hotel or they go to the airport and she eats, can she put that on her expense report, or has she already been terminated? So now she's got to pay for her own meal on the way home.
I'm just hoping, and maybe that's why she did the press conference, to get a ride home. I mean, say, you go do the press conference. We'll give you a ride back. You can pack up your office and then head out. So that's the only reason I can think of that she did the press conference. Otherwise, I'm saying peace out. I'm headed to the Uber and the nearest bar.
It's just so bizarre, is it not?
Yes, it is.
A headline that I do believe most of us can relate to, although I would never go to Reddit. Man begs for help on Reddit as wife blows money in Las Vegas. As we get set to go to Las Vegas to do the Blitz a couple of times later this month, that's a scary headline.
Well, in my wife's case, it might read the other way around. Wife begs for help on Reddit for a husband who blows money in Las Vegas.
Yes. So the question is, did he get any help? Did he start a GoFundMe? What was she spending the money on?
Well, according to the article that I read, she only wanted to stay in the fanciest hotels in Las Vegas.
Okay.
The schwanky ones.
Sounds like Joe.
And that, so they had to pay for them. So
they weren't getting free rooms at Bellagio?
Apparently not. No. And so that was the biggest problem.
Do people actually pay for rooms at Bellagio?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have I'll take a poll when I'm there.
I'm kidding. It is it's a relatable story on our I think it actually might have been on Pledges, but because we are going to Vegas in a couple of weeks.
End of the month.
We want you guys to come to Vegas with us. Join the Blitz in Las Vegas. We're going to be at Circa Las Vegas for opening day and the second round of the tournament Sweet 16 weekend. So March 28th through that weekend, Blitz live at Circa Las Vegas on Thursday, March 28th, Friday, March 29th. Greg Maddux is going to be there. Watch all the opening day games. Maddux is going to throw out the first pitch. And then, of course, you got the ultimate March Hoops experience there. Mega March. There is a discount for you to save money on rooms at Circa. Go to the Blitz page at sasportstar.com and you could get that savings. Some guy posted, I want to go. My wife says it's too expensive. So I wrote him back, said, well, leave her at home. That will save you money.
Or maybe it won't. She might keep him in check.
Nah. I mean, that's where go to Vegas without your wife. Just with the standard rule, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Oh, that's a good rule in all circumstances.
I would think so, but especially in Las Vegas.
Uh-huh.
And if your wife thought it was too expensive, leave her ass at home and just go out there. It's a great guys' weekend anyway.
Sure.
I mean, I know our wives are going, so I won't say anything. But if you guys get a group of guys that goes together, It will save you money, and you will have a great guys' weekend.
Coming from Jason Minix, who would never tell his wife, "You stay home, honey. I'm going to Vegas." Yeah.
Well.
It's going to save us
it's
money.
a great idea, Jim.
It's going to save us money, Joanna. You're staying home. I'm going to Vegas.
I mean, she had the option not to go. Now, you've met my wife.
Sure.
She's the queen of FOMO. She ain't missing anything.
That's exactly right. Man, I hope a lot of people go. We've already got some folks going.
Absolutely.
And so, it's going to be a party. It's going to be a lot of fun, and really hope you got. And if you've never been to Circa, place is incredible. You got to see it. It's got to be a bucket list thing, right? With the sports book and the swimming pool and the, oh man.
The restaurants, everything.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fantastic weekend. Again, you want to get the discount, go to sasportstar.com. We have the link there. Sometimes it rotates. It's on the main page. You can find it at the Blitz, but on the Blitz page there at sasportstar.com. But saves you money. And if you're going, let us know that you booked your trip, because we'll all hang out for a bit. That's the beauty. I mean, we're saying come to Vegas, gamble, drink, hang out at the pool, eat,
sightsee, people watch, all of that stuff.
Sightsee?
Well, not that. I meant people watch.
See, here's the thing with Ryan Eagle. Ryan Eagle, when we were in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl, I realized Joe does Vegas so completely different than I do Vegas.
Yes.
Joe goes to whatever hotel he's staying in and doesn't leave. And the reasoning is sound. Why would I leave? There's restaurants, there's gambling. I'm not going anywhere. But there's so much to do in Vegas.
Sure.
Now, I like to casino hop. But also, see, I don't do shows and that sort of stuff. But at some point, depending on how the night's going, so at some point during your normal weekend, I've got to go do something else besides continue to lose money. So I love the piano bar with the dueling pianos.
That was fun.
Go walk around, do some things, and then get back to the table and try to get on a win streak. Joe just stays on a losing streak the entire weekend.
Well, not all,
or
not
a
always.
win streak,
Some,
but
yeah.
He's constantly in the game.
Absolutely.
Right?
If you're not in the game, you can't win, can you?
Well, at some point though, you got to cut your losses.
Well, sometimes
and try to restart, right? So, and so Joe had a lot of fun in Las Vegas, going and doing some things that he had never done before.
That's true.
And then you were enthralled with like the mob museum, right?
Yeah, because they had
the display was at one of the parties we were at. They had this display, and Joe was like, "Wow, this is here in Vegas, huh?"
Now, see, I would like to see that, but it depends, because typically when we go to Vegas, it's for a weekend. You go on a Friday, you come home on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a quick trip. So I'm gonna have a lot of time to go. Sightsee and do stuff.
All of us on weekends, and I've although I've only done the mob museum once, I'll never do it again. It was fantastic. But I'm with you. I've missed more shows that Joanna had bought tickets for because I wasn't getting up from a table.
Right.
Honey, you go have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like dinner reservations, and one of the people going, "All right, I'm making reservations." And I'm like, "Sure." And then one of us like 8:00, and I'm like, a lot of games on. We get done with at 4. If it's too long, that might end up being a girls' night. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Because again, things are going well at the table. I'm not going to dinner.
No, sometimes that forces you to do that, though. If you get
Dinner
up like,
reservation?
it forces me to do that.
Show
So
tickets. Depends on the show and how much I spent. If they
Yeah.
were freebies, I ain't going.
I don't go to shows much.
I don't.
And
We've stopped.
yeah.
Although I did go see Carrot Top.
Well, and I saw Sebastian Maniscalco not too long ago too. Paul McCartney ruined me for Vegas shows.
Paul McCartney.
It was the worst.
Really?
It was horrible. I walked out.
Paul McCartney.
I walked out. Yes, it was terrible. I haven't told you this story.
No,
This was way back in the day.
Well, I mean, we're talking about Paul McCartney, so that could be a lot of days here.
Well, way back in my day, and my dad loved Caesar's Palace, so we'd always go once or twice a year, depending, and as a family, and I'm talking about my brothers and everybody, and we'd go to Caesar's Palace. Well, we've gone there enough where I had a casino host, and he saw me. I mean, it was that afternoon, and said, "Hey, I've got some tickets to the Paul McCartney show. I can't remember where it was." And he says, "I'll even have a car take you." And I said, "Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll do it."
Yeah.
All excited about that. Get there. I'm, nice seats, and comes out, and it was like, what the hell is this? Dude, it had to be the worst show I'd ever seen in my life. Well, I didn't see the end of it because I walked out.
How early in the show did you leave?
I may have made it an hour, perhaps. Maybe. It was awful. So that kind of...
I've seen some good concerts there, but shows, I mean, I've seen some of the Cirque du Soleil. It's been a long time. Chris Angel made me quit buying because the only thing that guy made disappear was money out of my wallet and time. I can't stand that guy. That was probably the worst Vegas show in Vegas experience. Same kind of thing.
There you go.
So now if I'm offered tickets, get tickets, and Joanna say, "Oh, let's go."
Nah,
you have fun.
Yeah.
Go with your friends.
So there you go. So that's why I do what I do.
I saw Britney Spears. She was good.
Yeah, was
surprisingly.
She?
Yeah. But that
she
was
have clothes on. I mean, was it,
for the most part,
Vegas thing.
I mean, for the most part,
yeah,
and for the most part, kept them on.
Well, that's too bad.
I said for the most part. You two recently, that was fantastic.
Well,
Certainly
yeah, but
worth
that
it.
was a concert
at the
right?
Sphere. Yeah. Well, what do you think Paul McCartney was doing? Magic tricks?
Well, no,
that's a concert.
I wish he would have done magic tricks.
Literally a concert.
I wish he would have. No, it was a bunch of butterflies floating around and ladies with these. And I'm like,
it's Paul McCartney.
It was like, what the hell?
Are you sure you didn't see Barry Manilow?
I don't know who it was, as a matter of fact, because after
so it could have been Barry Manilow.
Well, I think Barry Manilow would have been better. Dude, I'd have rather gone see an Elvis impersonator.
Wow. Dude, you hate the Beatles.
I don't. I loved that. I was excited. I'm like, geez, what the heck? Would you just sing? I mean, at some point in time, it's a little too fancy. And I know it's Vegas and all, but can you just sing?
Now, Fred Villarreal on YouTube wants to know, was it a Paul McCartney lookalike?
Well, I guess it could have been, Fred. I don't know.
You recently saw a Rod Stewart lookalike and thought it was the real thing.
No, I didn't think it was. You thought it was the real thing.
Not really.
Yeah, you did.
Not really.
Dude, I send Minix a picture of this dude. I said, look, hey, Rod Stewart's here. Minix goes, nice.
Yeah, I was just being nice to you.
Yeah,
like,
whatever.
You really think that's Rod Stewart, huh?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Did it look like him? I'm going to pull this up.
It really doesn't look like him.
It does look like him.
Kind of, if you haven't seen Rod Stewart recently.
Well, I haven't. Have you?
A couple years ago, he and Cyndi Lauper were playing down in Houston, and we went and saw.
Nice. Does she still have a rash? Have you seen commercials?
I mean, it was covered. If she did, she still wants to have fun.
Okay, that's
as all girls do.
Good.
That was a good show.
That's great.
Yeah. Speaking of shows, I saw Billy Joel.
Yeah.
And Stevie Nicks
Who
on
was better?
Saturday night. Loaded question. My expectations for Stevie Nicks weren't high, and she was phenomenal. I thought she was better than Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Billy Joel, his 2.5 hour set was incredible. But I thought Stevie Nicks just nailed it. She's 75. She doesn't look great, to be honest.
Wow.
But she still sounds so good.
That's awesome.
And her voice is so unique, but there are certain things range-wise she can't do anymore, and she didn't try. Almost kind of how I felt with Guns N' Roses. Axl knows what his limits are right now, so he's not trying to be like old, and it comes across as awful. But I thought Stevie Nicks was incredible, but my expectations for her weren't very, very high. She doesn't do any wardrobe changes, but she does change shawls and capes a lot. She was at one point like, I need a new cape. And she goes backstage and grabbed a new cape and put it on. But she's coming to the Frost Bank Center in May.
I may have to get tickets to that.
If you're a Fleetwood Mac or Stevie Nicks person and you're curious, go before she's not touring anymore. Billy Joel coming to the Alamo Dome in October, whenever that is, with Sting.
So they're not together anymore.
No, this was a tour from a year ago that got postponed when she had COVID. And so it's rescheduled. So Billy Joel's doing his thing with a variety of people. In San Antonio, it will be Sting. And then Stevie's doing her own thing too. And then random dates they do, like what they did in Dallas on Saturday night.
Awesome. Yeah, of all the concerts you've gone to, that one I had a little FOMO. That I would have liked that one. So maybe Stevie Nicks in May will go check her out.
But if you're curious about where she's at right now and is it worth it? Yes.
Yeah.
She was
absolutely.
That was a good show. And again, I'm a big Fleetwood Mac guy.
Yeah,
my
too.
wife loves Stevie. I mean, it was, but I know that sounds bad. Who was better? My expectation wasn't very high for Stevie, just with, everything she's gone through, and Christine Diane McVeigh and all, it's just like, what's it going to be like? It was fantastic.
Well, Billy Joel, because there was a period in his life where he did this doo-wop stuff that was not very good.
The great thing with Billy Joel is at one point he's funny, right? Or, he was like, all right, I'm going to play all my new stuff. You realize I haven't put out a song in 20 years. You're going to know everything I'm going to do here tonight.
Good.
And he did.
That's good.
And it was, the stage setup and everything was pretty incredible.
Awesome.
Yeah, good stuff. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Another running back off the board, not going to Dallas. We'll give you the details and the latest on NFL free agency as we continue here on the Blitz. Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, especially the Corpus area during spring break, you got kids down there, keep the number handy, license number 149, 210-225-2121, or online at mybestbailbonds.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, the Spurs got Golden State. Now the Rockets, how'd they do? We'll look back and look forward on what is the most important stretch of the Spurs season.
Plus, we are squarely in the middle of the legal tampering period across the NFL. What are the biggest things we've seen across the league, and what are the Cowboys and Texans doing? We'll get into it starting at 6 a.m.
Here in San Antonio, if our football teams aren't winning, we make changes. So if you're losing against your non-energy efficient windows, call Maverick Windows at 800-972-3631 and get a free quote for new energy efficient windows. That's 800-972-3631.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their valuable tools, but to protect their professional reputations. For pros, the WeatherGuard badge makes a statement about what drives them. It says, "Bring it on. Been there. Done that. We've got your back," without saying a word. And the folks at WeatherGuard, they're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. See what it means to be driven at weatherguard.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride.
120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hi, it's Jason Minix from the Blitz. Did you know your testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s? So if you're feeling a lack of energy and drive, it could be caused by low T. Get your levels tested at Synergenics. They make it quick and easy, and with the convenience of their on-site lab, you'll get your results back at your first visit. At Synergenics, you will get customized care from testosterone specialists. Book your appointment now. Go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Boot Barn is committed to supporting those who uphold the Western way of life. Denim plays a major role as a robust material that holds strong in a rugged environment. Since 1947, the Wrangler Authentic Western jeans have brought long-lasting denim to all who embrace the cowboy lifestyle. Boot Barn is proud to support this bold legacy, one that's just as iconic now as it was then. Wrangler at Boot Barn.
What's keeping you from learning the language you've always wanted to speak?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make learning fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. And in 10 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
That's not long.
It's not hard.
It's perfect.
It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon on my new home, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. We're down to a couple of teams left to officially sell out our spring golf tournament coming up.
Yes.
Not next Monday, the Monday after.
2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today. Get your team signed up. sasportstar.com. We'll be playing out at the Golf Club of Texas, presented by Flight by Yingling. A hole-in-one opportunity brought to you by Ansira Auto Group that could get you $50,000 and a trip to the big game.
Woo!
Mm-hmm. That's the big game that will be in New Orleans this year.
New Orleans. Yeah, I can't wait.
Absolutely. The after party at the 90 Proof Bar and Grill there at Lucky Ranch Road and Highway 90, about 10 minutes from the course. You don't have to play in the golf tournament to come hang out with us out at 90 Proof Bar and Grill.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. It always is, and I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I mean, at last check, 3 or 4 teams left. That's it.
And a couple of stragglers. So if you don't have friends, there's some opportunity to get paired up with some really cool people.
It will be sold out, I predict.
Yep.
By the end of the week.
Yep. It's about what happens.
Yeah.
Normally a full week out, we're completely sold out.
Yeah.
People can look at the forecast, get your plans made, adjust, whatever the case is.
What is the forecast? Do you know?
I don't know, Bill Taylor.
I don't know. Let's see.
Nobody's ever accused me of being a weatherman.
Well, it's not because of my vast knowledge of the weather.
No.
Apparently.
No, you just look like the guy on
there
TV.
There are some people that think I resemble one Bill Taylor from Kins 5.
I only see a 10-day forecast on my phone, so we're not quite there yet.
Well, now I have a 14-day forecast, and according to this forecast,
of course you do, Billy.
Right now, it says there will be partly cloudy skies and a high of 80 degrees.
Beautiful.
Absolutely perfect day.
Partly cloudy, 80.
Yep. So there you go. Make your plans. Sign up.
sasportstar.com. Let's get it.
Yes.
Friday, the Blitz is going to be live out at the Rue Pub at 281 and Redland Road. It will be a fun Blitz because that didn't sound right. It will be. It's going to be a lot of fun. Ryan Eagle's not going to be there, but Rob Thompson wants to work a double. He wants to come hang out at the Rue. So Rob in the afternoon.
You guys will have a great time.
Yep.
I'm going to a birthday party.
Yep.
So looking forward to it.
Yep. So Joe's out, Rob's back.
Yep.
Been a while since he's done the Blitz. Been a while since he's been at the Rue working. So he's looking forward to that opportunity. Question is, we just got to make sure Rob remembers that he's working next Friday afternoon.
Exactly right. Somebody give him a wake-up call.
Well, we were going to go to dinner the other night with some friends that were in town.
Uh-huh.
And Rob was at one point, well, I'll pick you up, Jimmy. No worries, man. We're going to a restaurant on 16 and 4. It'll be fine. I'll pick you up. And, I was just going to get off work and go to the restaurant. And Jimmy's texting, which one of you guys is picking me up, or should I just Uber? Yeah, dude, it's on the way, man, because Rob's not responding. And then that Rob had some lame-ass excuse, which just really tells me Rob woke up from his nap and went, I ain't going to dinner.
I ain't going. And that's all right.
Yeah.
But not Friday. He's got to wake up from his nap and go.
I think he's excited about that.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Hey,
it's always fun at the Rue.
Absolutely. We will be there on Friday. Kind of an interesting signing. Gus Edwards leaving Baltimore to go to the Chargers. So he goes from John to Jim on a 2-year deal.
Yeah, that's not a bad move. Little change of pace from Austin Eckler.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good.
So the first day of legal tampering, and we have another signing.
Wow.
Uh-huh. The legend Gardner Minshew is going to the Raiders.
The Raiders.
So he'll compete with Aiden O'Connell.
How about that? I like to see the mustache guy get it done.
Dude,
I like Gardner Minshew.
I do too, and I've liked him since he was at Washington State, played here in the Valero Alamo Bowl. He's one of those guys that I do think if he ever gets an opportunity like, hey, you're the guy, not the bridge, he could actually turn into a pretty decent NFL quarterback. But this guy has been in more systems. I mean, he is getting up to a jersey collection that will rival McCown before it's all said and done.
Well, bad news for Gardner Minshew, though. Diana Rossini just tweeted out that the Raiders are discussing a possible trade with Chicago for Fields. Interesting. So I don't know. Diana Rossini just tweeted that out 4 minutes ago.
No, this is the beauty and the fun as we try to connect all the variety of dots of what's going on in the NFL. They signed Gardner Minshew at 2 years. I didn't see dollars, but it's going to be Gardner Minshew neighborhood, right? They're in the market for Fields. Are they really? Or is then Aiden O'Connell on his way out and Garner's the backup? The Raiders were in the hunt for a variety of guys that we've heard mentioned.
Yeah.
But they've struck out on all of them. Justin Fields' market changes when Pittsburgh signs Russell Wilson and Atlanta signs Cousins. Cousins to $100 million guaranteed on a 4-year deal that's $150. So they could have gotten a guy like Justin Fields a lot cheaper, but had to give up some stuff, but cheaper salary-wise. Then you look at the idea that they didn't make that trade. Minnesota now needs a quarterback. Yeah, I kind of thought, well, maybe Garner ends up there. There's a bridge corner somewhere, a bridge quarterback somewhere that's going to end up in Minnesota. Now, Trey Lance has been mentioned in a trade.
Yeah.
There's also talk about Sam Darnold possibly ending up in Minnesota.
Yes, there is.
But a Gardner Minshew level of quarterback in Minnesota, kind of like when Case Keenum had their miracle play. It's like with that offense, Gardner Minshew would be all right there. And I'm surprised there was no real talk about Gardner Minshew, and then to hear Raiders and now to hear Fields. I mean,
that's crazy. And the Jacksonville Jaguars have been busy in this first day of the legal tampering period. Devin Duvernay is going to Jacksonville. 2 years, $8.5 million. They've been busy. So they got the kid from Buffalo. Was it Gabe?
Yeah.
Gabe Davis. Yeah. So, wow.
The tracker that Pledge is keeping up to date is hard to read because you just get lost as that list goes longer and longer and longer. Now, the other side of that is you see the Cowboys have not signed any outside free agent. Nobody should be surprised by that. Nobody. You should not be surprised that the Dallas Cowboys haven't signed anybody yet. We told you last week that was going to happen. This is the Cowboys' MO. They don't have the cap space anyway. When you look at their guys that they have to re-sign, now you have seen some Cowboy departures.
You have.
And two of them to Washington. Dorrance Armstrong gets a 3-year, $45 million deal to go to Washington to reunite with Dan Quinn. Tyler Biotish, the center, gets a 3-year, $30 million deal to go play in D.C. for the Washington Commanders. And Tony Pollard gets a 3-year, $24 million deal from the Tennessee Titans.
How about that? Now, it's interesting. John Machota with The Athletic he's got a poll on Twitter that says, Cowboy fans, would you have signed Tony Pollard for that amount of money to keep him in Dallas?
And what does the poll say right now?
I have not seen the results of said poll.
Well, did you vote on the poll? That would give you results to where they are
I
now.
didn't, because I really don't know how I feel about that. I'm thinking, well, probably I would not have.
Let's see.
Then he's also got another one there. It says, which Cowboys free agency departure will end up being the biggest loss?
So I just voted in the poll. 6,886 votes with 20 hours left on the poll. If you're a Cowboys GM and have the opportunity to re-sign Tony Pollard, 3 years, $24 million, would you have done it? 85.7% say no.
Okay.
And I think that's about the idea of where Tony Pollard is. When you look at that money, which seems like probably in the neighborhood of what they offered him a year ago, maybe a little bit less.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't take it, played on the tag for $10 million. No, and I'm impressed that Cowboy fans all said no, because you don't want a guy until he signs somewhere else. And you go, well, crap. It's kind of like Tyler Biotish. I would imagine the poll results would be a little bit more skewed just because you don't want to see him, A, go to Washington, but B, what are we going to do at center now? Which clearly they're going to
Brock Hoffman.
They're going to hire somebody to play center.
Brock
and
coming in
for the Dallas Cowboys, who love to draft, develop, and pay their own guys, for them to not offer Tyler Biotish a deal, a competitive deal at the very least, because we don't know if they did, but it didn't seem like there were many talks or anglings to keep him. Tells me about his development and what they really feel about him.
Well, and they offered him a contract last year. We were told that. It just obviously wasn't.
Biotish.
Oh, Biotish. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Pollard. My apologies. I don't know. It's the Cowboys. I don't know whether they like Biotish or not. I mean, the guy was solid. You never really heard from him that it was, any issue, any problems. He seems solid. So it's a matter of money. If somebody offered him money, the Cowboys didn't want to pay. And so I don't know if that means they didn't like the guy or really feel about him. I mean, they've lost 3 now in a matter of just a few short years.
Well, sure. Now, 3 years, $30 million for Biotish out of Washington. You know as well as I do, if they wanted to keep him, they could have found a way to keep him.
Sure.
Right. And that's with every one of these NFL players. Look at what Kansas City just did for Jones. If they really want to keep you, there's ways that they can find the money. So the Cowboys thinking clearly is with the other contracts that they know that they've got to commit to. Tyler Biotish, you ain't worth that. I can go find somebody just as good, cheaper.
You hope.
Sure, you hope. But I mean, literally, that's their job. It's comical, Joe. I mean, and you know this. I mean, yeah, they lost a center. That doesn't mean they're going to be without a center next year.
Well, of course they're going to have a center.
That doesn't mean they're not going to go out and find another running back. It's not just going to be Rico and Deuce now that we've lost Tony Pollard. But so many people react that way. Oh, the Cowboys are so much worse today. Everybody got better. What are we going to do? It's day one of free agency.
The problem is, Jason, and I think and you obviously don't seem frustrated by it because it's just the way the Cowboys play ball. But the problem is that everybody else is getting better. Well, you've got the Philadelphia Eagles now with arguably the best running back in the NFC, or certainly in the top 5, right?
Best running back in the NFC East.
Okay. Really? So, well, certainly that.
Yes.
But I'm talking about the NFC overall. You got McCaffrey in San Francisco.
Yep.
And other than that, you're good. Now, Aaron Jones is floating around out there. He was released. But you've got Washington, who's added some pieces. I just think everybody else around you, and what's frustrating, is doing something. And instead of, okay, well, what are the Cowboys going to do? Well, they got to re-sign Dak. They're going to sign Micah Parsons and CD Lamb. I mean, if you're a fan, that's not exactly overexciting. So you got to understand the frustration. And I'm looking at the biggest Cowboy fan that I know in R.J. Ochoa, and he's crying all over himself.
Well, of course he is. I mean, RJ's been salty since the season ended. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, but the idea that, it's a long race in the offseason,
Sure.
It's the tortoise and the hare. I mean, the results aren't decided today on who's put together the best roster. The Cowboys got a lot of credit last year for making some trades, solid trades, subtle trades, smart trades that were pretty deep into the process with Gilmore and with Cooks. They're not big players on the first day of free agency historically. Could they have been? Should they have been? They don't like to overpay. And they don't overpay. Washington, I mean, probably the loss of Dorrance Armstrong is greater than the loss of Tyler Biadasz. Now, we won't know that until we see who they replace Tyler with as the starting center. So as I sit here today at 3:55, my anticipation is they're going to find somebody just as good. If they don't, I can revisit this opinion. But right now, Washington, they got better with a couple of people that the Cowboys decided not to retain. So that tells me
couldn't retain.
No, they decided not to retain.
So that makes those guys just trash.
Not trash.
That's what it sounds like you're saying.
Not
the
trash.
Cowboys didn't want them, so obviously they suck.
I didn't say that at all.
That's
if you
saying.
Hear that, that's just your Cowboys hate showing.
No, it's not. That's your arrogance. And that's the problem with the Cowboys.
No, it's
They're arrogant as hell.
How are they arrogant if they're making a smart business decision? I never said they were trash, but I'm saying, though, if they wanted to keep these guys, they could have found the money. Every team that has let a player go could keep that player if they wanted to find the money. For what they were asking, the team said, you know what? You think your value is that? We don't. Have a nice life. Thanks for working here. That's what it is. That is not arrogant, nor is it calling them trash. But for the money.
It's arrogant for the Cowboys to just sit pat year after year after year after year and expect it to finally someday work.
Okay.
That's arrogance. It's pure arrogance. Well, we don't want to overpay.
Yeah.
We're going to draft and develop.
Yeah.
That ain't working.
Well, and when they draft and develop and they don't sign a guy, that should be a sign too. There's a lot of teams out there that haven't been to a Super Bowl in 20 years and 30 years or haven't won a Super Bowl. The San Francisco, they've been, but they haven't won. I mean, you're a Tennessee Titan fan, man. I just think about all their great postseason success and their systems, but any way you can take a shot at the Cowboys, you will, whether it makes sense or not.
It's not a shot. It just seems like with this fan base that you might want to throw them a bone occasionally.
Yeah, well, I running organizations by appeasing the fans, boy, that always works out too.
Oh, well, okay. Well, it ain't working however you want to slice it, whether it's appeasing the fans or not, it's not working. And again, if that's happening, you want to go after Tennessee. Look, I was an Oiler fan. Okay.
There you go.
And that's if that's how you want to do it, that's fine. Cowboys need to do something different. And they're stuck because their quarterback got a hell of a deal from an owner that just gives them everything they want. And they can't do anything. That's the problem. They can't.
So you just answered your own question.
They can't
your
do
own
anything.
complaint. They aren't doing anything right now because they can't.
They can't.
Right? So you're mad that they can't do something.
I wish they would. Yeah, I wish they would do something. I mean, something. You just sit and pat while everybody else is getting better.
I'm sure
the team that just kicked your ass in the playoffs got better today.
They did.
Yeah,
they did.
Everybody else is getting better.
But it's a long process. And you think they're sitting pat? I'm sure they're doing some work today. I'm sure they're all in the office.
I don't know. All the tweets I see is that they're sitting on a beach in Cabo.
I mean,
Jerry and
great
Steven
thing about high-speed internet is they can be in Cabo and yet still doing some work.
I know who is doing some work. All the fine folks over at Parkhurst New Vision. They're doing some work, and they're doing some great work. And I know from experience, that is for sure. Look, I had lens replacement surgery last summer, and the results have just been fantastic. I see better now than I've seen in years. It's incredible the difference that they have made in my life. In fact, my results were so good that my wife Maggie, she decided to get her eyes done, and she is loving life. In fact, was bragging about it to her family this past weekend. It is an incredible place. You need to call them. You owe it to yourself to call Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020. You can also check them out online at sanantoniolasik.com. Give them a call. Tell them I sent you, will you? Joe Reinagle from the Blitz, and then go in there and check them out. Ask all your questions, whatever you want to know. They will check you out, make sure your eyes are you're a good candidate for lens replacement surgery. They're going to take care of you. They took care of my family. They'll take care of yours as well. Parkhurst New Vision. Call them today, 210-585-2020.
You're riding with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is set. Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas, with plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Presented by Ancira Auto Group. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. Then, after your round, join the San Antonio Sports Star gang for the after party, where the Blitz will be live at 90 Proof Bar and Grill on the corner of Highway 90 and Lucky Ranch, 10 minutes from Golf Club of Texas. It's San Antonio's Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation. Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
If you've been thinking about buying a new car or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, think Ancira.com. Browse through thousands of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and RVs. Shop for your next new Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Ford, Buick, or GMC. Or if you're looking for an import, we have a huge selection of Kias, VWs, and Nissans. Or for your home away from home, a full line of RVs and campers. And you'll always get the lowest Ancira price, in-store or online at Ancira.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text ENERGY to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text ENERGY to 200-300 right now. Text the word ENERGY to 200-300. Don't wait. Text ENERGY to 200-300.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has 2 great locations, Hebner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. You're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it, and if they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken, prepare foods, they've got it. The 5 for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later.
March is National Nutrition Month. Metro Health invites you to go beyond the table to celebrate food and its role in health and wellness. Whether we eat around a dinner table, on the go, or at a restaurant, choosing what we eat is important. Stay nourished on any budget. Metro Health offers information and resources to help you and your family savor your health. For tips, recipes, and much more, visit sa.gov/health. Eat well, feel great.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The NFL is on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
It is the NFL's free agent tampering period and a lot of moves. The Cowboys have lost Tony Pollard to the Tennessee Titans. They've also lost center Tyler Biadasz and defensive lineman Dorrance Armstrong to the Washington Commanders. Texans took a big hit, losing defensive end Jonathan Grenard to Minnesota. Saquon Barkley is going to be running for the Philadelphia Eagles. Kirk Cousins going to the Atlanta Falcons, and Josh Jacobs to the Packers.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Hope everybody's having a great Monday afternoon.
Yeah, I'm having a great time, actually.
NFL
This
free
whole
agency,
NFL thing, yeah.
the legal tampering period. Such a strange name.
It's ridiculous, right? So everybody agrees today, and then they can officially sign on Wednesday.
Yes.
Is basically how that works.
That's what it is. Well,
which is kind of dumb, isn't it? Just you agree today, sign today.
And we see it more in the NBA. I mean, hell, it screwed the Spurs over not long ago. Guy agrees, but you can't sign until, it was like a verbal commitment in, high school.
Yeah.
I'm verbally committed, but boy, coaches are trying to flip you until signing day. Tell you fax in. I guess they don't fax anymore, but until you sign that national letter of intent, it's kind of there. In the first day we've springed forward. You lost an hour? Did you miss it?
Not really. I really didn't miss it too much. Did you? It was weird. I liked last night, stayed lighter longer. Yeah. So that was cool.
I don't know if I noticed yesterday. Where sounds bad. I woke up in a Dallas hotel room on Sunday morning. And the clock said like 9:17. So I'm like, I got plenty of time for my flight. Except it was 10:17.
The clock didn't change.
No, well, it's the clock that's in your hotel room. And I didn't look at my phone. Because went to the concert and then went to Texas Live. which, you think about Texas Live. Now, it takes away the pain in the ass of trying to find an Uber or a ride right after a concert. And that area, by the way, if it's been a while since you've been up to Arlington, as we get ready to build our new downtown arena, I would like for Mayor Ron and whoever's in charge of all this stuff to go up to Dallas and look at the entertainment district that they are building there around Jerry World. For a long time, it was the ballpark in Arlington. And it was the ballpark in Arlington and Jerry World. And now they've added in Globe Life Field, and they've added in Texas Live. That hotel that they started building a week ago is now open, an entire convention center. And there are so many more restaurants and bars that they're building in that area. The Arlington Entertainment District is, I was at a football game in January, and I don't remember it being that nutty, although we just went to the game and then went to the airport. So I didn't check out Texas Live, which is a lot of fun, but a lot easier. And so they have a rodeo and a Post Malone concert going on at the baseball stadium, and Billy Joel and Stevie Nicks at the football stadium.
Nice.
So it was a zoo.
Yeah.
So it's always, all right, man, I'll go. We'll go to Texas Live, maybe get something to eat, but definitely get something to drink. Wait for traffic to die out a little bit, and then we'll catch an Uber. It's a good plan. It doesn't really save you any money when you get that bar bill, but it does save you the hassle of trying to find an Uber immediately after a concert. Needless to say, I think we got back to the room like at 2:30. And then I woke up at 9. I thought, I'm doing pretty good, except it was 10. And our flight was at noon. Left for, got up, took a shower, called Uber, Lyft at, 11:15. Walk right into the airport, get on a plane, and come home. So I felt it then because I woke up thinking I had time to go eat breakfast, and I did not.
It just seems like the day goes by so much faster when you spring forward, to me, right? It just, I don't know. It seems like it does. But now that it's over, I'm happy that it's over. It'll be, daylight longer and all of that kind of stuff. So I wish they would just leave it alone. I just leave it here as it is.
Yes.
Bam. Just stop and leave it alone, and let's move on with life.
What time is sunset tonight? Does it say on my fancy app? I don't know what time is sunset. That's what I like. I like the sunset at 7:39 tonight.
Well, and it will only
get I like it at 8:30, 9 o'clock. I love this time of year because of more daylight. Go home, go for a nice walk or do whatever. Grill outside without needing porch lights and grill lights and things like that. I just prefer this time of year.
I like it. It's good.
The sunrise, I never see that.
Well,
I rarely see that.
And that's part of the problem, though, with this, right? Because it is still dark.
Sunrise, it says, according to my phone, 7:46.
See? Now, I feel bad for the kids.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because it's still dark when they have to trot off to the bus stop.
Do you care?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I care.
No, you don't. You don't care.
I really don't care.
I mean, kids can stand at the school bus in the dark.
They're kids.
I mean, typically there's a light somewhere, right? A street light.
Last time I caught a school bus, Minix, was a long time ago.
Did they have lights then?
I don't know. That there were candles and torches.
I mean, in Alice, Texas, was it just a school bus, or was somebody's mother in charge of getting everybody to school on those particular days?
Well, what's weird about that is that in Alice, everything's kind of relatively close. So I used to ride my bike to school.
Well, I never rode the school bus.
Yeah, I didn't either, except on
games. For games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
back in the day, they didn't have air conditioners either.
May Stevens,
hot as hell.
Elementary was, on Manning Drive, just the other side. So, 5-minute bike ride.
Yeah, I'd ride my bike to school.
The junior high was at the other end of Manning Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And then high school, I could have rode the bus, I suppose, but I always had friends with cars.
Absolutely.
And then my brother was 2 years older, so then he was in charge of driving. Or
you didn't ride the bus in high school. It was like,
I
mean, you just.
What are you saying?
Well, you weren't cool then.
If you rode the bus?
That in Alice. Anywhere else, it's probably perfectly fine.
Perfectly, huh?
Sure.
I don't think so.
Maybe not. I don't know, but I didn't ride the bus. I had friends, and then
Trying to think. Actually, I take that back. I had to ride the bus to Avenue E because in Copper's Cove, 5th and 6th grade wasn't junior high, but it wasn't elementary. Because I was like, no, I remember riding the bus. 5th and 6th grade because it went May Stevens Elementary, then Avenue E, which was the name of the school.
Avenue E.
Avenue E.
Wow. It's kind of weird.
That's the name of the school on 4th Street. I have no idea. I guess because it was on Avenue E, and then junior high was at the end of the street. So I guess I did ride the school bus. Now that I think about it,
never did. It was bicycle. Always had a little chain lock.
Mm-hmm.
Lock that thing up to the rack.
You have one of those fancy like dirt bikes, like a mongoose.
No,
BMX.
No. Well, you know it's funny.
A 10-speed.
I had a bike one time that had the steering wheel on the.
You had a steering wheel?
Had a steering wheel.
Not handlebars?
Yeah, no, it was a steering wheel.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Do you have a basket on there too?
No baskets. No baskets. Had a steering wheel.
A steering wheel on a bike.
Sure, yeah. That was the whole thing. I'd put the cards with the clothes hanger pin
on your spokes. Yeah. Give a little bell.
Yeah. No bell.
Horn.
Didn't have a bell or horn. No. None of those things.
Did you jump?
I did.
Build some ramps and jump with your bike with a steering wheel?
I had a little dirt bike in one time. We'd do that stuff. There was a old vacant lot right down the street that we'd ride little dirt bikes in. A lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Had a fun kid growing up. Alice, Texas.
Alice, Texas.
It was fun. Those were the days.
I'm still trying to picture a bike with a steering wheel.
It had a steering wheel.
I can't believe Pledge hasn't Googled image this yet. I mean,
because Pledge probably knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Did you have to wear big shoes with that too?
Big shoes?
Yes. And your red nose?
No, I don't think so.
The only people I've ever seen with a steering wheel on their bike.
Hey, but you've seen them.
Well, kind of, but no, not like you can't go. Like I remember I had a mongoose, which was, they were fun to jump and that sort of stuff, but handlebars.
See, I just pulled up a bunch of pictures. It's like a common thing. Look at this.
Really?
See that?
And so did you get made fun of for that?
No, it was the coolest.
Are
you kidding me?
I just have a feeling that you show up with that. And,
it was cool.
You probably have to put a big flag on the back of it too.
I love that he says common thing. And down here, I see rare vintage 60s, 68 Huffy bike.
I mean, like that's almost cheating. Like you could not win the school's bike rodeo if you have one of those things.
Why not?
I mean, because it's cheating. I mean, does it come with training wheels too?
I didn't need them. Didn't need training wheels. I was an expert bike rider.
Did you ever win your bike rodeo?
We didn't have a bike rodeo.
So that means you lost.
No,
they had it. You lost.
No bike rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
We had real rodeos
in Alice.
Mm-hmm.
You race that on your field day?
Did I do what on my field day?
Did you guys used to do field days like the Olympic style sports competition? Everybody, back then you get a first place ribbon, a second place ribbon, and a third place ribbon, or you didn't. Yeah. If you didn't get one of those, you didn't get anything.
See, I didn't. We didn't have bike stuff, but we used to have the fitness thing. Remember, it used to be called the Presidential Fitness
Challenge
Award or whatever it was.
Yeah. It's kind of in line with field day, is what we called it.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. We didn't ride bikes, though.
We had bikes, and we had track and field events, and potato sack races, and tug of war.
Look at the Titans got another former Cowboy.
Who'd they get?
Chidobe Awuzie.
Mm-hmm.
3-year deal.
Good for Cheeto. Good for Tennessee. A lot of moves being made right now in free agency. Some major moves at the quarterback position. We'll go over all the latest as we continue here on the Blitz. Spurs do play tonight. At home, they've got the Warriors. Wemby will play tonight. You want to add some excitement to the game? Make sure you download the Underdog Fantasy app and play the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy. Sign up, UnderdogFantasy.com, or go download their app. It's a ton of fun to play. It's fantasy, but you can win real money and legal in Texas. And to play the Pick'em game, All you got to do is pick between 2 and 5 players from at least 2 different teams and select higher or lower on a player's predicted stats. If your picks hit, you could win up to 100 times your money. You think about the way the Spurs have been hitting from 3 since the All-Star break. I know I've won a couple of times just by going higher with certain players when it comes to Spurs numbers there. So go win yourself some money. Go enjoy the game a little bit more. Keeps you watching until the very end. Sign up with my promo code STAR, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, they'll give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick of entry. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Download the Underdog Fantasy app or go to underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up, just use my promo code STAR.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is set. Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas. With plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Presented by Sierra Auto Group. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. Then, after your round, join the San Antonio Sports Star gang for the after party, where the Blitz will be live at 90 Proof Bar and Grill on the corner of Highway 90 and Lucky Ranch, 10 minutes from Golf Club of Texas. It's San Antonio's Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation. Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Do you ever feel hot spots or cold drafts around your home while watching your favorite team play? Your windows may be to blame. Call Maverick Windows today at 800-972-3631 and sign up for a free quote and get back in the end zone. That's 800-972-3631.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. A bottle of Lucas Complete Fuel Treatment can clean your system and help your engine get more MPGs. Right now, you can get 2 bottles for only $9.99. A great deal to help you go a great deal farther. Find Lucas Complete Fuel Treatment and everything you need for better fuel efficiency at any one of our 6,300 stores.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
To thank you for 40 unforgettable years, Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
What's wrong with Rick? He's kind of spacey today. That's Rick's identical twin, Scott. He's not used to answering to Rick. What's going on? Rick asked me to keep it secret, but he asked his twin to cover his shift so he could go to Diamonds Direct to shop. But this is a jewelry store. Yeah, I know, but the prices and selection are so much better at Diamonds Direct. Rick doesn't want the boss to get suspicious, so Scott's here in case the boss sees Rick at Diamonds Direct.
But that would mean that the boss is at Diamonds Direct too?
Yeah, we have a lot of secrets.
You never know who you'll run into at Diamonds Direct. With unbeatable direct importer prices, the highest quality diamonds, the most sought-after designer rings, the best customer service, the strongest guarantees in the industry. It's just a no-brainer.
You think if Scott had a mustache, would he look like me?
No.
Go where everyone else goes. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Well, what if I shaved?
Still no.
For store hours, directions, and more, go to diamondsdirect.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob Thompson and RJ Ochoa.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, we're reacting to all of the NFL free agency frenzy and getting into what the Cowboys and Texans have or have not done. Joe, I heard a rumor that you were in first on Jake Ferguson. I got to be honest, I don't believe it.
Well, you better believe it, RJ, because it's true, buddy.
It is so true.
It is true.
Fergalicious definition make them boys go crazy.
And I tell you what, I heard Rob Thompson talking about this morning on the Morning Huddle. And Rob nailed your discovery of Jake Ferguson perfectly.
He did.
You were in on that guy before you knew who he was or what he did for the team. You just saw him and were like, that dude, who is that?
Yeah.
Yep.
I spot talent. I look and talent.
I mean, the fact that he was on the Cowboys roster on a football field tells me that somebody had discovered him before you, but you knew he was going to be great before anybody else.
Well, I mean, I heard all you, Cowboy fans and people, Dalton Schultz, he's the guy. Jake Ferguson, no chance. Dalton Schultz this,
again,
Dalton Schultz that.
Nobody said anything.
I'm pretty sure you did. But it's okay. I forgive you. Because now Jake Ferguson, best player on the field against Green Bay, which isn't saying a whole hell of a lot,
I was
right?
say. It's like having a steering wheel on your bike.
Dude, it's cool.
Anthony Zamora from Kielbasa said, man, you were cool if you had the steering wheel on your bike and if it was a chopper.
Now, see, I didn't have a chopper. I don't recall that. Man, it was so long ago. Jeez.
Now I'm curious because I said, did you have that? He says, my dad would have whooped me. Was having a steering wheel?
He would have whooped him?
Having a chopper or a steering wheel?
I don't know.
He would have said, I pay good money for you to run it the bike that way. So was adding a steering wheel like an accessory?
I always thought it will. I don't know. I got it as like a gift way back in the day, but I thought it was cool because it was like you were driving a car.
Yeah, which is what everybody on a bike wants.
Well, yeah. So, I just I thought it was cool. And obviously it was.
That's pretty funny.
Uh-huh.
All right. We apparently have some breaking news pledges. Oh, he's waving us off.
Well, it's Diana Rossini. He's been very active today, by the way. Apparently the Panthers and the Giants are discussing a trade. So lots going to be happening probably all week. Today and tomorrow for sure. And then Wednesday they can sign. So we'll see what happens. Maybe the Cowboys will be players at some point in time.
And again, the expectation of fans.
Yes.
And the reality, even though I feel like I've been trying to warn you. JJ Garcia 14 tweets in, amazing, at Joe Reinagle 210, at Jason Menix, at SA Sports Star, and it's breaking news: the Cowboys signing nobody. Then I see Redbirds Junkie tweet in, come on, do something, and I'm not sure what that guy is, but he's,
I don't know if that's a stick or is he?
I think he's shaking a stick at the Cowboys to do something.
Well, I didn't know if.
Well, careful now.
Yeah, I thought maybe he was getting that star wet.
Wait, you look at that picture and think that the guy's peeing?
Well,
I mean, seriously,
possibly.
Stick figures aren't supposed to be that all complicated.
Well, I don't
right?
know. Do you look at this dude? I mean, look at this. Look at the character. What the hell is he wearing?
Well,
is that a mask?
It actually looks like a guy wearing a condom, but but whatever he's doing, the fact that the clear stick is coming out of his arm and you see a pee stream,
Well,
I'm not sure what you're looking at.
It looked like a stream.
It does not look like a stream.
It does.
How? I mean, it's not even from where
it should have been a stream.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to take the guy that pees on the Cowboy logo, but that's not what this is. But it's pretty pathetic stick figuring. But even where the stream, what you think might be a stream, which is clearly a stick, it's not coming from a part on the stick figure that you would think would have the ability to pee on the Cowboy star. I think it was just your hatred of hoping that it was something peeing on the Cowboy star. I mean, it's like waking up a dead animal. Hey, dude, you awake.
I find
like,
Cowboy
like
fans.
Joe Reinagel after a night in Vegas, his wife gets a stick. Hey, man, you moving over there? Or do I need to call security?
I think I love listening to y'all, or watching and reading the tweets from Cowboy fan.
Yeah,
it's very.
The Cowboys are doing exactly what I told you they were going to be doing.
No,
And I said
it.
this last week. I don't know why you guys are acting surprised or disappointed. I tried to prepare you to watch everybody else have fun and feel like they're getting better, but relax. This is what the Cowboys
relax.
do.
Who are you, Aaron Rodgers now? Or
yes. I mean, we'll do the discount double take later when they can shop for discounts. That's what the Cowboys.
Discounts.
That's what. Well, the Cowboys aren't shopping at Neiman Marcus. Josh Jacobs gets a 4-year, $48 million deal,
which is exactly the deal that Jones got 4 years ago. I saw a comparison to that. It's basically the same deal.
And Jones got fired today.
Yeah,
he was scheduled to make $12 million this year.
So Jacobs will get fired in the final year of his contract.
Well, I mean, it's possible. You look at the numbers that Barkley got today. Tony Pollard. Cowboys aren't going to spend that kind of money on a running back. And if they were to do something like that, Cowboy fan would be up. How do you spend that kind of money on a running back?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'd say, Jerry, you finally said you're going all in. You're going all in.
Yes.
I mean, Jerry needs to stick to his word. Let's go. I want to.
Again, they're not shopping at the rim today, man. They're going to wait till Eisenhower flea market's open this weekend. That's what they're doing. That's what I mean. One, with the amount of money that they have, that's all they can do, right?
Well, they got to take care of little Dak.
Little Dak now, huh?
Got to take care of Dak, so they'll have some money to spend.
No, you seem pretty excited about.
I love you, Dak.
You seem pretty excited about the contract that Kirk Cousins got, right?
I wasn't excited about. I don't care what Kirk Cousins gets.
You seemed pretty excited about it earlier.
I really don't. I mean, I think good for him. He got paid. Somebody thinks he's worth $100 million.
Well, and to think about in his career, Kirk Cousins, who has one playoff win in his 12-year career, has made $329 fully guaranteed dollars of his $411 million NFL contract.
It's a great country, isn't it?
I mean, I read that and I think Dak's a bargain.
Well, what has Dak made? $250 million? Couple of tags and then this contract?
I mean, you'd have to add it up.
210, I think, maybe.
I
roughly.
I imagine we could look that up and get exact numbers.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't need exact numbers.
8 years. You look at Kirk Cousins and has made over $400 million in his contracts, 300 and change fully guaranteed.
He's got a hell of an agent, apparently.
He really does.
Maybe Dak should have that guy instead of Todd France.
I mean, I think Todd France is doing pretty good too. But again, though, while we bitch about Dak Prescott, you look around the league and say, well, Dak isn't the only one, right? That has been paid a crazy amount of money and continues to command a crazy amount of money that doesn't have any playoff success. How often do people compare Dak and Kirk Cousins? And then you look at Kirk Cousins' playoff record and you go, it's the knock on Kirk Cousins in primetime. Although in that Netflix series, he was like, look at all these game balls I have from primetime games. And everybody thinks I suck. But, it's just the crazy market that we're in.
But Dak's he's going to catch Kirk when he gets his new deal. Well,
Yes.
look, and most likely it's going to be from the Cowboys. But even if it wasn't, he's going to get a hell of a deal somewhere. So he'll catch Kirk, and they'll be exactly the same all over again.
Sure. Let's go over the latest in NFL free agency. The Cowboy departures. Dan Quinn doing work in D.C. And ironically, he's added a couple of linebackers. Now he values those guys. We'll dive into that coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First, so, life can throw you some curveballs, right? Unexpected ones. You ever been hit with challenges that leave your smile in the dust? Got some uplifting news for you this afternoon from Doctor's Implants. Life can certainly throw some serious hurdles our way. And at Doctor's Implants, they meet patients every day facing the fallout of medical conditions causing their teeth to go south. But here's the scoop. At Doctor's Implants, they're on a mission to bring back your smile no matter what life has thrown your way. If health-related dental problems have been holding you back, don't lose hope. Doctor's Implants is your ticket to a fresh start. You can check them out at doctorsimplants.com. But when you call them at 210-640-0000, mention that I sent you, Joe Reinagle from the Blitz. That's your key to a complimentary consultation and CT scan. Look, don't let life's challenges steal your smile. Call Doctor's Implants today. That phone number again, 210-640-0000.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, the Spurs got Golden State. Now the Rockets, how'd they do? We'll look back and look forward on what is the most important stretch of the Spurs season.
Plus, we are squarely in the middle of the legal tampering period across the NFL. What are the biggest things we've seen across the league, and what are the Cowboys and Texans doing? We'll get into it starting at 6 a.m.
Dave Ramsey here for my friends over at Connecticut in San Antonio. Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy. So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it. It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association. The team at Connecticut San Antonio can test your water, install a system, and provide treatment all without stepping a foot inside your home.
I'm Chris Canepa of Connecticut and San Antonio in the Hill Country. I'll let you try a Connecticut quality water softener for 90 days absolutely free. Call us at 656-PURE, that's 656-7873, or visit us on ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Don't you love an extra $100 in your pocket? Have a TurboTax expert file your taxes for you by March 31st to get $100 back instantly. Because no matter what moves you made last year, TurboTax makes them count. That means getting $100 back and 100% accurate taxes, only from Intuit TurboTax. Must file by 3/31. Credit only applicable to federal filing fees with TurboTax full service. Offer can be modified or terminated at any time.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer Jaren.
I'm the singer and guitarist in a band, and I use my Cricket phone for everything. It's basically like another band member.
Don't miss a single beat. Switch today and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial. Must bring your number to Cricket on up to a $60 a month voice plan depending on device. Select models only while supplies last. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See store for details.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
March is National Nutrition Month. Metro Health invites you to go beyond the table to celebrate food and its role in health and wellness. Whether we eat around a dinner table, on the go, or at a restaurant, choosing what we eat is important. Stay nourished on any budget. Metro Health offers information and resources to help you and your family savor your health. For tips, recipes, and much more, visit sa.gov/health. Eat well, feel great.
and paid for by America First Tax Group. Attention! If you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you. But you must call 800-257-0663 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-257-0663. That's 800-257-0663. Again, 800-257-0663.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
San Antonio is Aggie Country. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. If you did some grilling this weekend, make sure you upload those photos to sasportstar.com. The Grilling with the Blitz page. On Thursday, we'll judge meat and give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market.
Well, I did some good steaks last night.
Did you?
Yes, sir. Went over to Tri-County when we got back from Houston, and they picked them out for me. It was delicious.
They picked them out for you.
They did. Because, look, I'll tell them, I want those, just whatever y'all think is the best.
Yep.
And they never disappoint.
They never disappoint. You know, it's always interesting. There are some people that are so picky. I want that one. You want to pick out.
Yeah.
I trust the butcher.
I do too. Much more than myself when it comes to that. So those folks are great. I don't know why you would buy your meat anywhere else. Honestly, I don't.
No reason to.
No,
not at this point. You look at the NFL free agency period, the legal tampering that is going on. Now, none of these deals will be official until Wednesday. You know, it's this period here that we're in. But it is comical when you look at the market, running backs, what they're doing. Is the running back market dead? I'm impressed with Saquon Barkley and the contract that he signed with Philadelphia. Although they got rid of Swift, who's been solid and reliable, for somebody who's solid that hasn't been as reliable when you look at injuries and the amount of money. Now, the threat of Saquon, I think, is massive. And maybe they felt like with, Jason Kelsey gone, didn't they lose another offensive lineman in Philly?
They did Fletcher, right? Fletcher Cox.
Well, he's on the defensive side, but
they lost him today, so he retired.
But maybe a more powerful type running back with a subpar offensive line. You look at Josh Jacobs goes to the Packers, 4 years, $48 million, and you look at that and you go, what the? And then you kind of start looking at the breakdown that's coming out on Twitter, and basically Jacobs signed a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
That's a great 1-year deal, but it's a 1-year deal. Odd. But they get rid of Aaron Jones, who was, about to turn 30. He was due to make $12 million. So you wonder what kind of market there will be for him. And then so much about Derrick Henry and where is he going to end up? And then you've got like a Gus Edwards gets a 2-year deal. There are going to be more running backs like Gus Edwards that I think will end up being in play for the Cowboys, who do have to go shopping for a running back, seeing that Tony Pollard signed with the Tennessee Titans. That is a departure for the Cowboys that I do think they will address not only in free agency, but also in the draft. Now, you look at a variety of running backs, not bell cow kind of running backs, but the change of pace running back, that second running back that'll be available on the market, and that list in the affordable range of where the Cowboys are going to be at, there's a lot of guys that I think the Cowboys will be able to pick from.
Yeah, I think so too. And again, I think it's best for them to go get somebody in the draft. You get a guy that you want, a guy that you can, you know, it will be serviceable for the next 4 years or so. Go get somebody in the draft. If you can grab somebody, I'm not for them paying for a Derrick Henry, for example. I mean, it'd be great. It'd be the splash that we're all looking for. I'm not sure that that's going to happen. We are talking about the Cowboys. But I think you can go into the draft and get somebody. And I think that they will address that there. They've got to look at other things, though. And if you don't want to go shopping at you know, the swanky places today, you got to start looking at linebacker. You got to start looking at offensive line, I think. And although I think they'll address some of that in the draft as well. But I mean, the Cowboys have a lot of holes to fill. And I guess understanding the dynamics of the salary cap, Jason, I get why they're not doing anything right now, but it is a little bit disappointing. They haven't even been mentioned as being in conversations with anybody. Nobody. I mean, it's just been crickets from the Dallas Cowboys all day today. So, yeah, while we're not surprised, I am a little bit surprised that there's not even a rumor out there that maybe, I don't know, you saw a guy that they at least talked to and just couldn't reach a deal with.
You know, it's weird. Now, granted, we're in the media business, so we like it when teams talk, right?
Yes, we do.
But you don't really believe, I hope, that the Cowboys haven't been in conversations with anybody. Isn't it kind of nice to have a day where you don't hear a bunch of Cowboys rumors, where you feel like, well, there's no way here, no way there, or the leaky boat that it is, because you know they're doing something behind the scenes. Now, granted, right now it seems like pass, because, you know, Biada's agent, all right, here's the offer from Washington. Well, good luck. We'll help you move. Same with Tony Pollard. They're not overpaying for anybody. And you go back to, was it Von Miller a couple years ago?
Yep.
Everybody thought he was going to end up in Dallas, and everybody was mad when he ended up in Buffalo, and then you saw what Buffalo gave him, and you went, well, no wonder Dallas passed on that.
Yeah.
And so that's what's happening today. And again, I wasn't expecting much from the Cowboys. I would like them to go get some sort of veteran running back. And Pledge, if you could find a list of, you know, the down there guys that could be in play, because I think that's where the Cowboys need to go. Because the other part of this year's draft, it's not like it's a great draft for running backs. Granted, there's been a lot of guys drafted late that you weren't thinking highly of as NFL prospects that have turned into pretty damn good NFL running backs.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs have one, right, that turned into a pretty good running back, and they got him late in the draft. I think you can there. I really believe that. And for Philadelphia to go out and sign a guy like Saquon Barkley, I think, you know, they felt like they needed a veteran running back, that maybe that was the piece that they needed, especially after losing a guy like Jason Kelce. You know, it just depends. It seems like when you're talking about Saquon, you're talking about Josh Jacobs, those guys still command respect, where you're going to pay him a pretty nice salary to come run the football for you. With Green Bay's situation, they were going to have to pay Jones $12 million.
Mm-hmm.
So they just kind of swap one for the other. So,
and that is, I want to say odd, but odd, isn't it? That you have a guy that you seemingly like, that seemingly likes it there, but they felt like Jacobs was going to be an upgrade, so we'll go better. And I do think this is one of these moments where you realize, for a player, if you're one that says so-and-so should take a hometown discount, this is why you don't do it. There's no loyalty from the team. You look at Aaron Jones. Now, maybe there was some stuff in that building that I'm unaware of, you're unaware of, that we find out later. But they had a pretty damn good running back in Aaron Jones at $12 million. And just
they did.
And seemingly they found another running back. You could debate who's better all you want, but you're going to spend more at that position for him. The Eagles going out and getting Saquon, you know, that's where they feel their need. Now their quarterback is under contract, their receivers are under contract. So as they're doling out money, a couple of retirements, they could afford to go get that running back. And maybe they felt like that's what Jalen needed last year, was a better running back than what Swift was offering, because of the style of play that they want to do. And if they target that guy who wants to get back to Pennsylvania, stick it to the Giants at the same time. I just saw on Twitter, Tiki Barber's not happy. Saquon's dead to us.
Yeah, of course,
which
yes.
is funny as hell, but it's true. I mean, you look at it, but this is why guys should never take a hometown discount and go get as much as you can. And the other part where you look at what the fully guarantees are in a contract, you see Josh Jacobs, 4 years, $48 million. You realize that guy's getting 15.
Right.
And it looks good for the agent to put that out. And that's the other thing. When the agent is texting the Schefters and the Rappaports and whatnot, they want it to look and sound as good for their clients and them. And then when you see what the teams are putting out and what eventually gets out, you see what the real meat of that deal is.
Well, what Saquon's guaranteed money is $26 million, right? So I mean, it's not the $38 million that is out there. Same with Josh Jacobs, as you mentioned earlier. There's a lot of free agent running backs out there that you might want to you take a look at. As I look at this list, Derrick Henry, obviously, now Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler is actually a free agent. So Ezekiel Elliott is out there.
Well,
Alexander Madison, former Minnesota running back, he's out there. So Enrico Dowdle is a free agent as well. So right now the Cowboys conceivably have Deuce Vaughn. That's it.
Well, I mean,
I'm just saying.
I mean, conceivably, yes. They're just going to go with a fun-sized running back to training camp.
They just gadget guy all over the place.
You look at some of the guys, like Madison wouldn't be bad. Joe Mixon, is he on that list? I thought I saw him earlier.
I don't think he's
not
been released yet.
Okay, but he will be. Maybe that's what I saw. He's going to be. Some guys like that with a rookie wouldn't be a bad option. Eckler, it wouldn't be a bad option, but at what price are you going to get an Austin Eckler? And that's where I think a Derrick Henry could still be in play if the price is right. The fact that he's 30 is keeping the market down. He's certainly not going to be in the same neighborhoods when he gets a deal. I would be surprised if he signed what you're seeing, like a Jacobs is getting, or Saquon, or even Singletary for that matter. But at the same time, you kind of know maybe where the floor is for a guy like that.
You wonder, and we were talking about this earlier, about teams' value of a particular player, and you wonder about an Alexander Madison. Now, there's nothing that says Minnesota couldn't re-sign this guy, but he's only 25 years old, and you could get him cheap. I mean, you could get him probably for $2 or $3 million a year. So a guy like that, you go out and draft somebody, might not be a bad option if you're the Dallas Cowboys and you can get that done. So there's some guys out there, but when you look at the list of free agents, Jason, I mean, there's a lot of guys. I mean, some that you've heard of, but they don't really do much. But the ones that you have are all pushing 30, and so that's where you got to be careful.
All of them. I mean, it's free agency, and keep in mind, when the UFL gets underway, there's probably going to be a couple players there that end up. Now, I'm not saying that the Cowboys are going to go running back shopping in the UFL, but we have seen it every year that there has been spring leagues that a dozen or so guys end up going straight from the spring league with no offseason and right into an NFL training camp.
Cowboys have done that.
Cowboys have two guys that have done that. But granted, the two Cowboys are special teams. At the same time, we've seen running backs, quarterbacks, although backup quarterback, and a lot of wide receivers that were able to do that.
Well, it will be interesting to see. Running back is one hole. Linebacker's another one they've got to fill. Offensive line, obviously, they've got to find. They need a center. Do they have him on the roster already, or are they going to go out and get him? So, I mean, there's some holes that the Cowboys have to fill. It's going to be interesting to see how they decide to fill them. Everybody was thrilled with the Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks trades late in right before training camp, right? Those late in the summertime. So will the Cowboys wait that long to address some of these needs? I look as a guy that covers the Cowboys and has covered the Cowboys for a long time. You just think maybe they'll surprise you and do something. But as we go, they haven't.
You seem so disappointed.
Well, I am. I want to be excited talking about it. Let's go. Because right now, I'm kind of like, me, Cowboys, Spurs, same thing. What are they going to do in the offseason? And I have no faith that the Cowboys are going to be any better next year than they were this year.
You shouldn't.
As a matter of fact, I think they're not going to be as good as they were last year.
They might not. I mean, the reality is they might be. They might not be. Right. We thought this year they might be a better team with a worse record just because the way the schedule was going out. Yet they still managed to get back to 12 regular season wins. On paper, individual positions, you're losing a Tyron Smith. I don't care who you replace him with. You're going to look at that offensive line and automatically think they're not going to be near as good on the offensive line because you've lost a Tyron Smith. And maybe depending on who they replace Tyler Biotish with, you might look and go, all right, well, yeah, the offensive line isn't going to be as good. It's how they're coached up, and you go from there. But they'll replace guys in the secondary. I mean, so they lose Awuzie. Well, you're getting Diggs back. Still no word if Gilmore's coming back. I know Stephon told us when we were in Las Vegas he wants to come back. Same with Brandon Cooks, but they were both on one-year deals. But you are going to get Diggs back. You got Bland coming back. Defensively under Mike Zimmer, a little bit more traditional at the safety position. Granted, they do have a couple other safeties to look at. You've already lost Dorrance Armstrong. This mass exodus that you're seeing from Dallas, and I will go back. All guys, if they really wanted to keep, they could have found ways to keep. Dorrance on my list is the one that I go, man, that might be a little bit tougher to replace.
Are the Cowboys relying too much? And I'm asking this question honestly on Mozzie Smith improving.
Yes.
And DeMarvin Overshown coming back. Are they relying on that too much? And maybe that's why they're not out being active. Not that they would have, but I'm just saying, because I think Steven intimated that to us, that Mozzie Smith's going to be better. And you got Overshown coming back.
I don't know that I would say relying on it too much, but does that factor into their decision-making process?
Could be,
if they feel like they already have that guy. Overshown didn't really have a rookie year. So that's a bonus for them going into next year.
Could be.
They liked, and he had high expectations of immediate playing time last year and would have been an impactful type player if he were healthy. So are they looking at that as we've already got that covered? It's possible. Is that smart?
Probably not.
It's always debatable.
Well, especially with Overshown. I mean, that was a serious injury. How's he going to be? Is he going to be a Tony Pollard where it takes half the season to get back? I mean, all of those things. And you can say the same for Trayvon Diggs. I mean, how healthy will he be at the starting of the season?
The good news is those things happen so early in the season.
Just saying.
I mean, it's not like Tony Pollard got broke in the last game.
He did.
So his time to recover and get back from a timeline standpoint and
different injuries.
But yeah, it's possible. Jim on YouTube says, go get Dante Foreman. Now we're just throwing all names that we know out from our fantasy football drafts, although he wouldn't be bad.
He's available.
Here's one. Are we going breaking news here, Pledge? What do we have here? Former UTSA Roadrunner Marcus Davenport has signed a 1-year deal, according to Mike Garafolo and Ian Rappaport. Marcus Davenport going to the Detroit Lions.
How about that? Wow. Well, good for Marcus Davenport. You know, he kind of fell off the radar a little bit. Had some injury issues in New Orleans and just kind of fell off the radar for a little bit, but obviously he's a talented player.
Gives two San Antonio boys
on
the Detroit Lions with Josh Reynolds.
How about that?
And now Marcus Davenport.
Detroit got better.
1-year deal.
Green Bay got better. San Francisco got better. Philadelphia got better.
Tortoise in the hair.
Just saying. All of these teams got better today. Cowboys, they didn't get better.
Here we go.
They didn't get better, did they? You can say they got worse.
You're going to go all Jason Garrett. I'm just going to go make me a shirt that says, do something.
Yes.
And you could do that over at Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. If you want to get a shirt made, hey, Cowboys, do something. Bill Parcells, or Bill Belichick, do your job. Sam will get you a T-shirt made if you need one screen printed. You need any kind of shirt made, any kind of logo on any kind of gear. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing over on San Pedro. If you need uniforms, he has over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Put your logo on a nice golf shirt, a dress shirt, a fishing shirt. Sam can get you taken care of. He has all the big name brands: North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps in more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps. Nobody has better prices, and Sam is the only company in Texas that offers one-day turnaround. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Riding I-35 with the Blitz. Sportstar.com.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
I gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. Pick up for 40 days of consistency. All over Febreze car clips right on your face. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated by JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
If you've been thinking about buying a new car or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV,
think Ancira.com. Browse through thousands of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and RVs. Shop for your next new Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Ford, Buick, or GMC. Or if you're looking for an import, we have a huge selection of Kias, VWs, and Nissans. Or for your home away from home, a full line of RVs and campers. And you'll always get the lowest Ancira price, in-store or online at Ancira.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch offers big, bold flavors like hot honey, spicy dill, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein crunch. Turn snack time from ordinary to extraordinary with flavorful pork rinds. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today.
Here in San Antonio, if our football teams aren't winning, we make changes. So if you're losing against your non-energy efficient windows, call Maverick Windows at 800-972-3631 and get a free quote for new energy efficient windows. That's 800-972-3631.
Your home for the Dallas Cowboys is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
It broke just a few minutes ago. Former UTSA standout Marcus Davenport has signed a one-year deal with the Detroit Lions. A lot of activity today. Tony Pollard agreeing to terms with Tennessee. Tyler Bionich and defensive lineman Dorrance Armstrong from the Cowboys have agreed to terms with Washington. Texans lost the big one, defensive end Jonathan Grenard. He has agreed to a deal with Minnesota.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On this crazy Monday afternoon, the tampering period is on.
Now, see, why do we call it tampering? It's not tampering. It's agreeing to deals.
It's a little window in time before you're allowed to officially sign deals where you can negotiate. It's like the cash handshake in college football in the old days. Now they call it NIL.
True. But, I mean, we're agreeing to deals all over the place.
We are. We are, but we're not signing anything. We're saving paper until Wednesday.
Okay.
And look, this is why the NFL is king. This is another reason to love the NFL because, man, we can throw all the spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
For example, you look at the movement today, and if you guys want to chime in on this crazy day of free agency and bitch about the Cowboys not doing anything, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Tweet at Joe Reinagel 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. You can also comment on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Comment there. But dominoes fall, right?
Yes.
The Green Bay Packers go out and they sign Josh Jacobs. Well, dude, they got Aaron Jones. What are they doing? Oh, they've released Aaron Jones. So who's that? Bleacher Report pledge? They quickly send something to, hey, graphics guy, give me something for landing spots for Aaron Jones. Okay, cool. And, well, you better include the Cowboys so people will click on it and retweet the hell out of this thing. So Aaron Jones, potential landing spots. He's got Dallas, the Houston Texans, Minnesota Vikings, Baltimore Ravens, and the New York Jets.
Well, Pledge put that up there because he saw that little Texans logo sitting there.
But the rest of the world sees Cowboys and go, oh, Aaron Jones, come back home. He's a Texas kid. He was at El Paso.
Well, he's a Cowboy killer. How about having him play on your team? That way he doesn't kill you in the playoffs again.
Well, there's that.
Yes. which I thought was probably the best reason to give him something.
I mean, if you can't beat him, join him.
You got to admit, if you can get that dude for a decent price, he'd be a hell of a running back to have.
Well, sure. But he was scheduled to make $12 million this year. And the Green Bay Packers says, we love you, but not that much. So we're going to pay another guy more than we were going to pay you.
Well, the other guy's younger.
There you go. Aaron Jones, he's hit 30. They expect the clip to be coming soon.
Sure.
And Green Bay made that decision. They made that move. Who knows? Is it possible that they went to Aaron and said, hey, dude, if you want to redo your deal and make a lot less, we'll keep you? No. All right, well, you're out. You're fired, and we're going to bring in Josh Jacobs.
Well, Aaron Jones will have a job before it's all said and done. It's just a matter of where and how much.
Well, a lot of these guys are going to have jobs. But are they going to get the value they think they are worth? All these running backs, Jacobs, Pollard, Saquon, they all played on the tag last year. There was a Zoom meeting, remember, with running backs and values.
Yeah.
And now you start looking, all right, Tony Pollard, 3 years, $24 million with Tennessee. Saquon gets a 3-year, sounds like a big contract with Philadelphia, but when you break it down, was it
$25 million is guaranteed? Yeah.
Which is still, great money. Jacobs, 4-year, $48 million. You start looking at it, dude's got a 1-year, $15 million deal. And all of them, you go back to Zeke. Who was the dude with the Rams that signed I'm drawing a blank.
Todd Gurley,
right? You go back and you think about contracts like that, and then what those guys did after they signed them, and that's part of the reason the running back market has changed. Oh, yeah, and they seem to all fall off a cliff at the age of 30, and the wide receiver market has just boomed. Bad time to be a running back.
Yeah, Gurley kind of started the whole let's sign running backs to big contracts because it wasn't long after that that Zeke Elliott got his, right? Yep. So, yeah, that was all that time. So
it was the resetting of the market, and then the market crashed.
Yeah, it did.
So I look at the idea of the running backs that are out there, and I see Juan Garcia on our YouTube said running back prices are going up for the Cowboys. They're not. They're not. The Cowboys aren't going to overpay for a running back. They might end up with a running back that you might not be as excited about, or maybe you're not as familiar with, and maybe a guy that you haven't won your fantasy league with. But even though Mike McCarthy said we were going to run the ball a lot more this year,
didn't happen.
I mean, kind of, you need a threat of a running game, which is kind of what they had last year. So I just look at this and I sit there and I go, all right, what are the Cowboys going to do at running back? They will have somebody besides Deuce Vaughn on the roster. They will probably bring back a Rico Dowdle because he's not going to go get some money. Sure, we can all get excited about the idea of Aaron Jones or a Derrick Henry, a big name guy. But depending on the dollars, you just know that the Cowboys aren't going to overspend at that position.
Well, they're not in a lot of reasons. They don't have the money to do that. And when it comes to running back, I'm all for this because I think they can find somebody in the draft that will be serviceable. And if you go out and get somebody, maybe a veteran guy, a banger, which we all called for last year, which they never went out and did. So, but I think they'll be able to find somebody in the draft. I really do. Teams have proven that you can do that. Let them play on a rookie deal, and your problem is solved. If you can get somebody cheap like an Aaron Jones, so be it. But it's got to be cheap. This is where I agree with you in the fact that you don't want to overspend for a running back. Don't think you have to.
You don't have to. They're nice to have. It's all luxury. You have to have a serviceable guy. Don't get me wrong, but you don't have to overspend. Like would I love Aaron Jones in Dallas? You're damn right I would. Am I going to get myself worked up, excited, thinking that's going to happen? No, because I don't think the Cowboys are going to be in the market for Aaron Jones. He's not going to say, dude, I was scheduled to make 12, but All right, $4 million. I'll take it. I just don't see him doing that. And I think for $4 million, there's a lot of decent running backs that are out there that would be a nice complement to what Dak is going to do, in anticipation of also a running back that's going to get drafted.
Well, on the other hand, if you're 30 years old and $4 million is the best you can do, okay, I'll take it. It's, if it's a 2-3 year deal or whatever the case may be. But I mean, if that's what you can get and nobody else is offering you anything and you're not ready to hang up the cleats.
Well, that's it. But I don't think Aaron Jones is at that point yet. Maybe Derrick Henry. It's always interesting because the pride. And so many players will tell you the game tells you when it's time. You might think your value is worth X. I'm worth this much. But if nobody's willing to pay you that, then you're not.
You're not.
You got to readjust where you've set your values.
Exactly right. Well, that's exactly right. And so I'm sure that Saquon Barkley had, dreams of being paid, Christian McCaffrey money.
Sure.
Well, it's just not going to happen. It doesn't. So you got to take what you get. I mean, we sit here and throw these dollar figures around like it's Monopoly. He's only making $25 million. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, they do live in a different world than we do, and that's fine. But and I'll ask you this: would you rather the Cowboys overspend at the running back position, which means less money for a new left tackle and a new center, or spend on that offensive line?
The offensive line, for sure. That's a no-brainer for me. I think they can find a running back in the draft that can be, and other teams have done it. I don't think the Cowboys will have an issue doing that.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. What do you guys think? Should the Cowboys invest in running back now that they've lost Pollard? Or worry about the offensive line and other positions? We'll take your calls as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, spring is coming, and with spring means spring storms. Yeah, the hail and everything else to boot, right? And you want to make sure that roof is in tip-top shape, and Stevens Roofing is the company you need to call because, well, they're the one name in roofing that stands high above the rest. A quality roof overhead by Stevens Roofing means comfort. It means confidence. It means peace of mind, protection for all the things that you love. Like if you're in the market for repairs, a replacement roof, an upgrade, or even if you just want your roof checked out to make sure that it's okay, work with the experienced team that brings local roots, value, and a vast knowledge of the craft to every job. Work with Stevens Roofing. Give them a call today, 210-785-0994. You can also check them out online at stevensroofing.net. But call them. Make sure that roof is okay and ready to go for those spring storms. The number again for Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
The legendary Roger Clemens joined the show.
In our sport, in Major League Baseball, it's really cool that you can hit the ball 400 feet or do this or, throw 95, 98 miles an hour. That's great during the season. When you get to late September and October, you better have two frontline guys that can throw it and command it and be pitchers, not throwers. And you better have some guys that aren't allergic to leather out there behind you. They better be able to catch it.
Be sure to catch the Morning Huddle weekdays from 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Now is the best time to buy a Connecticut water softener. With current models being closed out to make way for the new ones, you can save big. Call Connecticut at 656-PURE and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you. That's 656-PURE.
The St. Patty's Day parties at the Roo Pub are legendary, and this year it will be the biggest St. Patrick's Day party ever. With the green beer flowing, it will be an all-day party with drink specials, live music with 3 bands on the outdoor stage, and DJs and college hoops inside at both the Roo Pub and Angry Elephant. Sunday, March 17th, starting at 11 a.m. It's an all-day party, and this year is going to be bigger and better than ever before. So plan now for St. Patrick's Day at the Roo Pub and Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watches in law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you are a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you are a family member and needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to gawon'twait.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob Thompson and RJ Ochoa.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, the Spurs get back in it as their 8 home games. This is the most important part of the Spurs season. We'll look forward and tell you what you should expect. Now back to the Blitz. Jason and Joe, what is that cert code Minix20? Do I need that, or can I just stow away in a bag? Rob, we've made it easy for everybody, especially you. You want to go to Circa Las Vegas with the Blitz at the end of this month for Mega March, opening day of Major League Baseball, Sweet 16 weekend.
Wow, Sweet 16.
There is a discount code that will save you 20%, and it is Minix20 at circalasvegas.com.
Nice.
Or you can go to sasportstar.com and just click the link there, and it will take you right to the Blitz booking page. I like that. Blitz booking page. I just made that up, but it sounds good. But that's it. It's exactly what it is.
That's awesome.
Yes.
It's going to be so much fun. You need to be there. You need to come out with us and watch it. We'll watch a lot of basketball, baseball, all of the above. Maybe do a little gambling. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe, who knows?
Joe's going to take a tour of the Mob Museum.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
And he's going to go to the Punk Rock Museum. And he's going to go to the Sign Museum.
I have no desire to go. Well, one of them, I would like to see the Mob Museum, but
it is pretty fascinating.
I really don't need, I could probably survive without the Punk Rock Museum. And
you wouldn't enjoy it.
No, probably not.
I really enjoyed it. The Sign Museum is one of the biggest ripoffs in Las Vegas.
Sign? Like signs?
Yeah, like all the old Vegas signs.
Oh, okay. All right.
We were out there for a friend's birthday party, and she thought it would be a good idea we were going to go to this because it's Vegas, walk around, see all the old signs, and drink the whole time.
Yeah.
And, she rented a limo, and we were all going over there, and they don't let you drink. and it's a guided tour, and you can't go ahead.
They don't let you drink?
It was awful.
Holy
I mean, the signs were
cow.
cool to see, but it was awful.
Wow.
And we've given her crap ever since.
Yes.
We'll never do that again. Ever, ever, ever.
Yes.
Cowboys and what they need to do this offseason. A lot of people have opinions. Where do you need to focus that money? Offensive line, running back, defense. What are you doing if you're running the Cowboys right now? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. John, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Well, if I was running them, the first thing I would do, I would let Dak play out his contract this year. See, maybe if he doesn't do too good, hit the open market, and we get him on the cheap, because I don't see anybody paying that guy $60 million a year.
Now,
another thing is...
hang on, John. Did you see the contract that Kirk Cousins signed today?
Yeah, I mean, well, and I saw the one that Baker signed, so I would do more of the Baker with Dak.
You realize Kirk Cousins in 12 years has one playoff win and just signed for $100 million, double what Baker Mayfield is getting.
Well, yeah, I saw that, but I'm just not a fan of Dak anymore.
Well,
so I got a bad opinion.
I think that was obvious, but
be careful, John.
No,
Jason's going to get mad at you.
I know how Jason is.
I just live in the real world.
I love you, Dak.
I live in the real world where get Dak on the cheap. If you think you're running the Cowboys and you're going to get Dak on the cheap or something like that, then you're going to be out of business pretty soon. I mean, I mean, this isn't fantasy,
Hey, and then with the running back,
go ahead.
And then with the running back, with the offensive line, the way it's going, with Biotish leaving and Tyron on the way out, a Derrick Henry will not work. He'll be like a locomotive in the backfield getting smashed by a wall. You got to get somebody like a Jones that's more shifty, that can move around a little bit more and try to make something out of nothing, because I have a really bad feeling about this year, minutes coming up for the Cowboys. And I hate to say it, but I really think it's time they need to start rebuilding. Now hang up and listen, guys. Thanks.
Appreciate you, John. Jerry doesn't have enough years to start rebuilding.
I don't know if Jerry's going to have a choice. It's kind of like, it's kind of like the salary cap. He's not signing anybody because he has no money. He may not have any choice but to rebuild. John makes a great point. If you're not going to sign anybody in free agent, let Dak go play out his contract.
I mean, there's some truth there, but I also think he wanted to put Derrick Henry at left tackle, and he turned Aaron Jones into Barry Sanders. Hey, we need a shifty guy that can just make things happen 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage since there's nobody blocking.
Derrick Henry might make a good left guard.
Hey, Christian, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. Listen, love y'all show. You guys make me laugh. But I got to tell you, right now, it just sounds like y'all are lulling yourselves into happy land with Dallas right now. I mean, Philly goes out and makes a smash because they manage their cap space very, very well, and they're in a position to strike. Dallas hasn't even gotten a done deal with Dak yet. These things should be done so that they can start dropping these next dominoes. They've done nothing. It's maddening.
It is. I
yes.
100% agree with you that it is maddening. We only look at done deals as having done something, even though they say they haven't talked, or sources. Do you really believe that Dak Prescott and Todd France has not had conversations with the Cowboys? The parameters are in place. The Cowboys couldn't begin to start doing their offseason work without an idea of what a Dak Prescott deal is ultimately going to look like. And I think this goes back to what Jerry said on the bus in Indianapolis, that they can do everything they need to do this offseason, whatever those goals are, with an extension or without one. They'll have to do it differently without one. Dak sounded like a deal was going to get done and was very confident when he spoke at that event last week. I would have a hard time believing that there's been no communication between the agent of your number one player and the organization. That just doesn't make sense to me.
I'm sure there has been that. Why there hasn't been a deal reached or something. I mean, it benefits the Cowboys and Dak, for that matter, to get a deal done. If that's what you're going to do, you got CeeDee Lamb you want to take care of. You want to take care of Micah Parsons. I don't think any of that can be done until you figure out what the hell you're going to do with Dak. And I mean, because he holds the biggest spot. I mean, he's the biggest spot on the whole chain. And so you got to get him done if you're going to get him done. If you're not going to get him done, then you rework his contract and worry about it next year so you can sign those guys. Do something.
Well, and they will remember, I forget who they were talking to. We were all waiting for a deal to get done, and they trot out a new contract for Jalen Smith. We're like, why did that one get done first? Because it did. You know, they've got all kinds of probably conversations happening, and when they're ready to get done, they get done, but the parameters still fit. That's how the NFL world works. We all want to get it done. I will say this, though. The Cowboys aren't going to let Dak play out this final year and become a free agent and test the market. That would cost the Cowboys a lot more if they have to get into a bidding war if they want to keep him. If they didn't think a deal was going to get done, wouldn't you start to hear rumors about, all right, Dak, if it's time to move on, will you waive your trade clause, and what teams do you want us to start talking to? Kind of like what you're seeing right now with Michael Gallup. Dude, go find yourself a trade partner. If you can find somebody that will trade for you, but otherwise you're probably going to be a post-June 1 cut. But if you want to, if you can work a trade, go get it done. If Dak there's no way Dak plays the final year and becomes an unrestricted free agent. That's just not going to happen. If a deal isn't close to getting done, or they don't think a deal would get done, I think you would see the Cowboys sending out all the signals that they are looking to trade Dak Prescott, and they are open for business.
Everybody that we've talked to, all the experts that cover the Cowboys, you and I think, and I won't speak for you, but I'll speak for me. It's better for the Cowboys to see what they've got. And yes, they can talk parameters all they want, but until a contract's signed, you don't know what those are.
Sure.
I mean, you know, Jerry can talk to Todd France and they can say, yeah, this looks good. And then Todd takes it to Dak and Dak says, hell no, I'm not doing that. I mean, you just don't know. And again, Dak Prescott has all the leverage in this deal. He's going to get whatever he wants to get. And anybody that thinks he's not is just fooling themselves. Dak is going to get a restructured deal, an extension, and it's going to be exactly what he wants because he's got Jerry over a barrel. And the only way this works is if Jerry just bangs his head against the wall and says, the heck with it, we're leaving this thing out there and let him play. And again, for all the reasons you just said, I don't think that that's going to happen. Although, I don't know that I'd be opposed to it.
Him trading or working at playing the final year of his deal?
Playing the final year of his deal.
I just think the reality for the Cowboys, and it's the fear of the unknown. I don't know that Jerry isn't going to start over at quarterback. They haven't drafted a player to replace Dak or even push Dak for that matter.
Nope.
The situation in Pittsburgh, Russ probably was told, hey, you'll come in as the starter. That doesn't mean he will be the starter. Right. Kenny Pickett, you guys battle it out. There's competition there. But what did that leave? That left Minnesota now searching for a quarterback because Kirk Cousins signed with Atlanta for $100 million guaranteed, right? And go look at some of these quarterback contracts with quarterbacks
outrageous
that have never won anything. And I know as Cowboy fans, we're going to bitch about the one that's ours, right? And we've had several of them. Tony Romo and all the money that he made, never delivered a Super Bowl. If Kirk Cousins can go out and get a 4-year deal worth, how much is it? 150 some odd million?
$100 million guaranteed.
But $100 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
On top of the 300 plus in guaranteed money that he has made in his 12 years with one playoff win. Dak's in the right neighborhood, right? So it's 4 years, 180 with 100 fully guaranteed for Kirk Cousins.
Right, which is what you got to look at, right? Fully guaranteed.
That feels like a bargain compared to
$25 million.
What you're talking about with Dak Prescott. In reality, though, it's a 2-year contract. He's getting $50 million a year.
There you go.
And Dak is going to be in the $60 million a year neighborhood.
Yeah, okay.
He is.
But
and again, he was second in MVP voting this year. The guy has earned it on the field with what he has done. We are looking at one aspect of the job, and that is playoff wins and Super Bowl appearances.
Which is really all that matters, doesn't it?
Ultimately, yes. Yeah, that's what you look at. But look at the contract that Deshaun Watson has. Look at the contract that Lamar Jackson has. Look at some of the big contracts.
Well, just because teams are stupid, I mean, some of and Jerry Jones is stupid too, by the way.
And Joe Burrow and all these others that haven't won a Super Bowl.
But he went to one.
All right,
I mean, at least get there,
All
right?
right.
I mean,
All right.
get farther than the second round. I mean, because the Cowboys haven't done that in almost 30 years.
I'm there. I'm with you when you look at it like that. But when you look at quarterback play and how hard it is to find, that's why those guys make all that money.
It's unbelievable.
Hey, Matt, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Nice to
Good.
talk to y'all. Yeah, I was just weighing in on the Cowboys and as far as what they got going forward. And my thoughts were definitely hit up that offensive line, whether it's center or left tackle, try to get something to draft. And then as far as running back goes, why don't they look over at Chicago Bears and see, I think Deontay Foreman, is he a free agent, if I understand correctly?
Yeah, Foreman's a free agent. And he's certainly a possibility. And
he's had great anywhere he's played.
Nobody disagrees with that. I think that would be fine. It just depends
great or good.
Well, I wouldn't say he's great.
All right, so
but
he's good.
He would be
He's
good.
good.
And especially he's a banger.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the guy can bang. So you go out, you draft a running back, maybe a more of a Pollard-like running back, and then you bring in a guy. I think that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt, appreciate the phone call.
Thanks, Matt.
Do have a trade in the NFL. The Carolina Panthers are sending Brian Burns to the New York Giants. See, it looks like the New York Giants says, we're really going to suck on offense, but we're going to try to win a lot of games 6-3.
We're going to try and keep Daniel Jones alive. I think that's part of it, right? Oh, he's a pass rusher.
He's a pass rusher.
Yeah, well, they need to go out and not get offensive linemen as well.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
They just
did.
signed a guard.
They did. See? There. You got to keep Danny Dimes alive.
I think
I'm worried about his life.
All right, what are you reacting
what do
to
we
over
got
there,
here?
Pledge? It looks like the same thing you just showed us.
It is, but it's numbers now.
Oh.
5 years, 150, 87 and a half guaranteed.
Wow. Well,
so Burns gets traded and a new deal.
Well, there you go. You're starting to see Micah Parsons type stuff when you're talking about pass rushers.
Mm-hmm.
And is that the way the Cowboys will go?
5
or will
years,
he be a linebacker?
150, 87 guaranteed. Always look at the guaranteed money.
Right. So, but on its face, $30 million a year, and I'm looking at that. You got to figure that for Micah Parsons. It's going to be in that neighborhood.
North of that.
Well, the guaranteed money will be, but I could see the ultimate contract being about $30 million a year.
Yep. Just get it done, Jerry. Get it done. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. We'll talk more NFL plus Spurs Warriors. They play tonight. Game night San Antonio next here on the Blitz. If you're dealing with any issues at the house with your plumbing, your air conditioner, you know there's one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899 is the phone number. 651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are full service. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any kind of job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. It's March 11th. Time to make sure your AC is scheduled for its maintenance, regular maintenance. And they've got great maintenance programs there at Quartermoon to ensure your unit is ready for every season. You want to make sure your AC is going to work when the oven is fully on in June, July, and August. Now, if you need a new AC for a limited time, all 14 SEER up to 3-ton AC systems are on sale, $69.99 installed from Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. $69.99 for all 14 SEER up to 3-ton AC systems. So call Quartermoon, 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, the Spurs got Golden State. Now the Rockets, how'd they do? We'll look back and look forward on what is the most important stretch
Of the legal tampering period across the NFL. What are the biggest things we've seen across the league? And what are the Cowboys and Texans doing? We'll get into it starting at 6 a.m.
Find what you love what you find. A total wine and more. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Did you hear? Macy's one-day sale starts Tuesday. Refresh your wardrobe for spring with great deals on brands you know, like 40 to 60% off Anne Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, Style & Co. and more. And add your flair with 30 to 50% off shoes, handbags, and accessories. Plus, get 15 to 65% off home updates from Cuisinart, Lennox, and more. Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase, except gift cards, services, and fees. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
At LL Flooring, we've been a trusted partner to pros for over 30 years. With over 400 nationwide warehouses full of in-stock, job-ready inventory, you'll get what you need. And our exclusive pro pricing means that pros never pay retail. Because at LL Flooring, all we do is floors. So we're going to do it right. Sign up for a free pro account today to start getting pro benefits. LL Flooring, every step covered.
O'Reilly. Cleaning your fuel system can help your engine run better and improve gas mileage. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts and pick up a bottle of Chevron Techron Fuel System Cleaner on sale now. Buy one, get one free, plus get 2 times O Rewards points. Just add it to your tank during your next fill-up. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
March is National Nutrition Month. Metro Health invites you to go beyond the table to celebrate food and its role in health and wellness. Whether we eat around a dinner table, on the go, or at a restaurant, choosing what we eat is important. Stay nourished on any budget. Metro Health offers information and resources to help you and your family savor your health. For tips, recipes, and much more, visit sa.gov/health. Eat well, feel great.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Hey, poker players, the Big Blind is open. With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. Whether you are seeking high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road, just down from the Roo Pub, offers daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road.
Do you ever feel hot spots or cold drafts around your home while watching your favorite team play? Your windows may be to blame. Call Maverick Windows today at 800-972-3631 and sign up for a free quote and get back in the end zone. That's 800-972-3631.
This is the AA Best Bail Bonds. Game night San Antonio on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Jack hammers it in.
Every game night, the Blitz with Jason and Joe get you inside and ready for tonight's game. Players, coaches, insiders. This is the AA Best Bail Bonds Game Night San Antonio.
For three, and Wemby put him in the friend zone.
The pregame show starts now.
Spurs Warriors tonight down at the Frost Bank Center. Gets going at 7. Spurs playing good basketball. Beat the hell out of those Warriors on Saturday night.
Yeah, they did. They did. Shot well. No Steph Curry, though.
No Wemby. No Devin.
No, none of those guys. Spurs have been playing good while Wemby's been sitting on the pine.
Here we go.
Just saying. Just saying.
He wasn't even on the pine. He was at home.
He was in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, resting.
After a
I think
van ride
Wemby's
from
got
Houston.
one of those extra long beds you got to have made.
I think he went down to Cantwell and said, I need a 12-foot mattress.
Yeah,
sure. We could do that.
So of course.
I don't think you can go to a regular mattress store and get one that fits.
No, I mean, seriously. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, he has to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
probably has custom sheets made too.
These are important things.
Well, really?
Yes. Custom sheets too. You don't think about the problems that guys that are 7'4" have to deal with.
I mean, 5'7", a tall 5'7" at that. No, I've never had to say, yeah, I need the
You got plenty of room, don't you? Your feet never hang off the end of the bed, do they?
No.
I
don't even reach the floor when I roll over to the side to get out of bed. I gotta jump down and jump back in.
Oh,
Dude,
man.
Pledge is like, I imagine Wemby with his feet dangling off the edge of the bed. Maybe the guy sleeps all curled up in a ball and can fit in a regular size bed with regular size sheets.
Nah.
How do you know? I mean, growing up, at some point you don't fit on the bed, so you just learn how to always be in, what do you call that position where you're just all kind of snuggled up with your legs up?
In
your arms?
For Wemby, that might have been a problem. I mean, I don't know what is, was he a wealthy kid or not?
He had bunk beds, except for they were just all stretched out.
Exactly.
Take the headboard off and make one really long bunk bed.
You don't think about that, but
could you imagine that guy flying coach?
No way.
Southwest with the sea boarding pass.
Yeah, there's no way. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh.
Oh, the problems Wemby has.
Man, things you got.
But I've seen him in a commercial, man. No problem bringing in all the groceries at one time.
Wemby's supposed to be back tonight, though.
He is.
Devin Vassell's probable. So it looks like the whole gang is back together tonight. But they have gotten some good contributions from some of the other guys. Keldon Johnson played decent basketball the other night. Was it Malachi Branham?
Yeah, no,
they've gotten some guys play well.
With the exception of the Houston game, which was a disaster, the Spurs have played really good basketball since the All-Star break.
They have. Much better, yes.
And what I find, interesting, it's like the light bulb went off. They're playing team basketball. They know their roles, and I find it very, I mean, the idea that there was that photo tweeted out from the Spurs practice facility, the PowerPoint, and the know your role kind of stuff that they were clearly stressing in practice.
Yeah.
None of those goals were about winning, but in Devin Vassell, in the month of February, pre-All-Star break, that guy was incredible from February on.
I agree.
Maybe accepted the role that he's not the number one option.
I think he has. Look, and he's probably been told that too. I mean, it's an adjustment period with these guys. And I joke that this team as constructed is better without Wemby on the floor, but just because, they don't know any better. They're moving up and down the floor. They're quick. They're not, I don't even think thinking. When Wemby gets on the floor, I think there's a little more thought process going on with some of these guys.
Be more thought. Throw it to the call guy.
Look, I agree with you there, but for these guys, apparently it is.
Well, but I think the other big thing for this Spurs team, and very few games that I have watched this year where I felt like the Spurs acted like they don't give a damn. There has been a lot of fight and a lot of effort this entire team. I've never questioned effort. Like you a lot, but not effort. They try hard. The effort has been there, but quite frankly, since the All-Star break, they've shot the ball extremely well.
Much better,
They
yeah.
have shot the ball extremely well from three. And it can't be as simple as make or miss, but that's kind of what it is. They're taking a lot of the same shots they were, but now they're making them. And when you make shots, you stay in games longer and you have a chance to win. Now, I look at the Sacramento game the other night. They played great in that game until the final 2 minutes. And then where you question basketball IQ, the basketball dumbness was on full display in the final minute and a half of that game. And they blew what should have been a great win against a Sacramento team that's playing great basketball. But
On the road, too, by the way.
But the brain farts down the stretch were just ridiculous. And you wonder, how in the hell can that happen?
Oh, wow. Pledge just put something up that just kind of like, wow.
All right, let's Spurs Warriors tonight. This is very interesting. A tweet from Pro Football Talk. So Mike Florio. Dak Prescott has filed a lawsuit against someone who allegedly hatched a $100 million extortion plot against him post coming at PFT. Pledge, jump around Twitter and see if anybody else has that. This obviously has nothing to do with contracts.
No, this is some idiot trying to get money out of Dak Prescott.
But you wonder, for him to file a lawsuit, somebody trying to extort $100 million. But anybody have anything with details other than a couple of tweets?
Well, obviously, this is just breaking. It's not on Pro Football Talk's website yet at this point in time. So, obviously, it's just breaking. Pro Football Talk has broken that story, but not much information about it right now.
Wow, and Pledge went to something that says malicious site blocked. So that's not good, according to the powers at Alpha Media. Something worth watching, obviously has nothing to do with the Dallas Cowboys and his current contract negotiations.
Well, when you say extortion, is it almost like blackmail? Is it, I mean, it's got to be, right? Extortion to me means like the gangsters that were, trying to, hey, we'll give you protection if you pay this amount.
If you are a lawyer and can chime in on that.
Yes.
We only got 5 minutes left in the show, so I can't call Nico. Although Nico, if you're driving home. But in reality, I think the extortion part could mean a variety of things. I do watch a lot of legal dramas on television, but it does sound like either some sort of blackmail, he does have a new girlfriend who just delivered their new baby girl. It could be something along those lines. At this point, it's speculating, but it's enough for him to take it to court. And the amount of times athletes get in situations like this where people might have something on them, either a photo, information, does work, who knows? But for it to go to the point where he's filing a lawsuit tells me that he's pretty comfortable that he is going to be fine with whatever information might come out during the legal process.
The definition of extortion, according to the internets, is the practice of obtaining something, especially money, through force or threats. So, gosh, I mean, it's got to be, if he's filing a lawsuit, it's got to be a company, doesn't it? Or a business of some sort that I mean, how else would, it's not just some random dude that you're filing a lawsuit against. Wouldn't you have them jailed or police protection?
Well, maybe you file the lawsuit because some guy's trying to get that kind of money out of him. Did it say that he's not suing somebody for $100 million. Somebody was trying to get $100 million from him.
Right, but he's
Almost
filed
like
a lawsuit.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
so like ransom isn't the right word because you think ransom and kidnapping, but that's where I'm thinking blackmail, something along those lines.
Yeah.
But a guy hatched a $100 million extortion plot against him, according to Pro Football Talk. It's interesting wording from Mike Florio, who is a freaking lawyer. Someone who allegedly hatched a $100 million extortion plot against him. So to me, it sounds like this guy's trying to get Dak to pay him $100 million or else.
Right. There's a threat, or I'm going to reveal this, or hurt your family, or something ridiculous like that. It's just, this is sad to see, honestly.
Well, and what we're doing isn't helping because now we're just speculating.
Well, we are.
Well,
we are, but I mean, it just happened. It just broke, and I think we'd be remiss not to at least talk about it.
Well, that's it, except for we have no idea any other details than that one tweet, and any other tweet is somehow referring to the Pro Football Talk post.
Right, and there is no post yet that I've seen on Pro Football Talk. I'm looking now, and that would be, I would assume, a headline, and it's not. So nothing there yet. So they must still be getting some information and finding out all the details as well, whoever's writing the story. But Shireen Williams works for Pro Football Talk, obviously.
Wow.
And she's going to be on with us tomorrow.
Yeah. Austin Eckler off the board, not coming to the Dallas Cowboys.
Where's he going?
Washington.
Washington?
Mm-hmm. Two-year contract, according to Shefty. Eckler rejoins his former head coach Anthony Lynn in Washington.
Dude,
Dan Quinn loading up on day one of shopping.
He is. Wow.
2-year deal worth up to $11.43 million. Not much of a market for Austin Eckler.
Say that again.
2 years worth up to $11.43 million.
Wow. No, he's up there too in the 30-year range. So yeah. Oh man. Yeah, Washington has improved themselves, to say the least.
They still got to get a quarterback.
Well, they're going to draft one.
Sure.
Sounds like it's going to be the kid from LSU.
It might be.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
It's possible, although that could change between now and the draft anyway. He could at one point be the hottest guy and the number 1 overall pick and then the 7th pick. You never know. That's what the draft season is about. Extra innings with Pledge coming up. If there's any more info on this Dak Prescott extortion story, Pledge will bring you the latest. He'll also go over all the free agency stuff with his expert opinionist about the Cowboys doing nothing with Joe Reinagel. Or you could just play cricket sound effects for 10 minutes because that's what the Cowboys have done on day one.
Yeah, we could do that. Let's imitate the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Crickets.
Exactly. Injuries do happen. When they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, strains,